to just 60. Their journey started back in January, and this is everything that they've been fighting for right now. Only one team will be crowned our newest ALGS LAN winner, but all 20 teams will be fighting for their share of $1 million.
And the question that everybody had coming into this week, can anybody dethrone the dynasties?
Boys, but here comes Legend Gaming! And remember, can they get the final kills? Yes, they can, but sadly, there is always one more, and it's Cloud9.
But this is just opening the door for VP to come in. Sharky's return to the finals!
You see the pink here, he's trying to heal up, he gets a one-shot, the Zine goes knocked. I mean, they found the crevice, but right now they knew that they weren't going to win in their positioning because they were pinched. TSM get eliminated and recheck Trinity. Clean up shot. They drop down. No way to fully swing it onto them. The trade though, as Zino gets a knock onto Slayer. Frex is the last one alive. He gets a knock afterwards. And LG.
To talk about Dark Zero again, we're talking about a match point seems. This could be their opportunity to hit match point here.
Maybe one more placement is all Rejectquinity need so far. And there we go, as Serenity and Dark Zero eliminated, Rejectquinity will cross that threshold.
Two teams already at match point, but we need to get that dub. They think they're safe, but they're waiting for them. They're waiting for them. The jump from Elevate to catch match pointing Dark Zero off guard. No banner for you.
They don't make match point. Elevate come in.
Elevate from 0 to 100!
Fnatic have moved up to match point here, but that might be it for them in this game. Zero goes down to Coinful.
Legends may have saved the day!
And now they're pushing down to keep it going.
Following up with Jens, the last one alive. Legends try to fully send it. It's up to them, but they take out Dark Zero.
The full 307 are back up, and they're gonna send it in. Nasky stands up.
No way!
Living! Minus! Go in! Dead!
I switched after switch!
Here come SSG!
SSG to deny Dark Zero the chance of victory. Rejectquinity now getting involved.
They want to clear out this side. They see kills available. They see an opportunity to clear out SSG and take control of this side of zone.
5 remain. Fnatic still alive and still approaching from the south here. And Aurora just lost one of their rotation. It might be 2, it could be all 3. And another match point team goes down.
Fnatic are thinking the same thing at the moment, trying to get Leica back to his feet, but UKF will go down as well.
Yeah, on us, ready. Inting. In barrels.
07 eliminate, but it's all up to Waltzy now. Fnatic will go down! No! The Mice will fall as well. We're down to 6 squads.
But it's disguised that they're fighting up against another match point team, but Rejectquinity have the extra player.
They have 2 down. They just need to find the third. It's going to be disguised down as well. They took that fight a little bit earlier. They win the fight against DSG, and now it's about winning one more.
Look at C9. Look at the position Serenity are in. Everything falling into place. Rejectquinity are just going to watch this unfold in front of their very eyes. Surely it's going to be the moment for APAC North here.
Biding their time, waiting for their moment. As all of Rejectquinity find themselves at Red Evos. It's a massive moment for Apex. It's a huge moment for APAC North.
It will be Rejectquinity that will ring around this arena, that will ring around the Apex scene.
Put your hands together for your winners of the ALGS Split 1 playoffs. Rejectquinity.
undisputed champions of APAC-South in the ALGS.
Such a good spot here. Provides any much coverage for Popcorn. Gravity kicks down and out already. Bristle strikes there.
Let's go down. 1v1. 1v1.
Oh, what? Well, Shady finds the target.
That's going to be a punishing blow.
Tree is covered. Fly high to Senpai. The wraparound is perfect.
What? No! Look to overextend. So does Kashima.
Does get spotted out. The pings go down.
Oh my God! It's the 360! What a beast!
And thank you for joining us once again here in APAC-South, where we have another 6 matches for you guys in store. We have Groups A versus B take to the stage. We just had DreamFire take out the first 6 matches. So they won that lobby, but we have some juggernaut stacks coming back into the mix. We've got Legends Gaming turning up today and Mkers. This is going to be such a thrilling set of matches to come.
Welcome to the bloodbath, right? Mkers as well as Legends in WOD Lobby alongside the resurging DreamFire and Weibo. Sign me up. So excited for this big matchup. And the thing is, this is the last time we're going to be getting this A versus B group to begin with, just because they're already at their last part of the set, their last set rather, within the split.
Yeah, and Weibo have been doing such an exciting, sets of matches, and can they keep this momentum going into another 6 games is going to be awesome to see, because, Elfish, Legends Gaming, they're at the top. They've been at the top for a while. They did such a crazy end game last week. Can they do it again? Can they keep that momentum, keep that top coming into, this next 6 matches where they haven't even played yet today? Will they be able to get, everything they want and take out another win?
Yeah, honestly, no reason to expect a whole lot's going to change, to be quite honest. Like, they've been consistent for a very long while now, haven't they? Not even just talking about this season, but going back over the last couple of seasons. And yeah, I imagine that Legends are going to have a fairly solid time today. I think it's quite interesting. Obviously, the Dax there, you mentioned Weibo and DreamFire coming into this. They're looking hot off of that last lobby, and that's definitely true. But if we do go back and have a look at how they've played in the A and B groups respectively, when this specific lobby has played, they've actually struggled a little bit. So I do wonder if, are they maybe having a bit of an easier time in the B and C lobby? Is it a bit more difficult now that obviously you've got Legends in the mix there, as well as Mkers, some other top teams sponging up a couple of the points? I mean, I definitely want to see that consistency is going to come through from Weibo and DreamFire, but I don't know that they've done enough yet to really guarantee that.
Yeah, they're bringing out the stats, Elfish. That's awesome to see. But, we have some changes in Apex. We've got POI drafts. So let's take a look at our Storm Point map and see exactly where our teams will be landing. And here we go. We have it back, and we are excited to see where everybody is placing. Dax, why don't you take us through some good picks I'm seeing over there on the right-hand side?
I mean, what else is to look forward to besides who will take Sito Station here? And apparently, with pick number 1, VK Gaming has taken that away from Legends. This is so different from what we see from Legends. Sometimes they go for the mill if they can take it, but all the way in Zeus Station instead, Lace. This is going to be a very different approach for Legends in the map where a majority of their points come from to begin with.
Yeah, and as we can see, DreamFire sort of moving out of the pylon for this set of matches, not too far away from where, they did some excellent, work coming out of down there near Echo HQ. And I'm just going to be interested to see if they can sort of back this up going forward. And then, we've got, Guild. They've been struggling a little bit today. They're coming out from the wall, but who's on their tail? It's Legends Gaming there, Elfish. They might have a bit of a struggle rotating from there, but I guess going into these matches, that will be able to unfold that for us.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I was going to actually mention Legends up there, right up at Zeus Station, so a lot of big rotating for them to do. We'll have to see how that sort of shapes up. But look, I will be very interested to see how Guild goes here today as well. I think they dropped the ball a little bit in the first lobby, and sort of similar in that discussion that we were talking about with DreamFire and with Weibo. When Guild play in the A versus B lobby, they actually have generally a pretty decent time. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to have a little bit of a slower start to the day and come good. They're maybe evening gamers. Who knows? We'll have to follow that discussion. But certainly can't be affording a 1-game day for the first 4 games. They got 1 point out of the first 4 games of that previous lobby. So that's just not acceptable for a team like Guild. And hoping they're going to be able to bounce back a little bit better here. It did start to look better towards the end of that lobby. So keep the fingers crossed.
Yeah, and, it's interesting that you say that, Elfish. Guild Esports, sometimes they can do a little bit better when, the pressure is high, and hopefully we can see that today. But Dax, why don't you take us through a little bit of a team that you're going to be watching out for today?
I mean, many have been wondering, how did this team get signed, right? Vegas Inferno, formerly known as Numnim from the qualifiers, they have been absolutely impeccable in their performance. One of the closest series that we had against Legends Gaming especially. They were down to the wire. It was just some smart play from Legends to get that extra KP. But plays like this have always been impressive. They take the fight to any kind of squad. They have utter confidence back in the qualifiers, back in the challenger circuits. They were one of the teams to fear for whenever they would land on you, and Vegas Inferno so strong in the 3v3. Sato, Aflo, and YR, from what I've seen from them so far, it's really just a group dynamic. They love to play a 2-1 split when you have put the Bangalore all the way in front, and then with the 2 anchors, they can snipe, set up a crossfire, and make the push happen. And truthfully, you look at their stats, they're almost dead even with one another. Over 20 to 30 knocks and kills for each one of these members. Over 5k damage effectively, as much as they can. And what I realize here for Vegas Inferno is, how are they matching some of the top teams right now with consistent performances as a team? Sure, there have been days that they've struggled so far, but from what we've seen from Vegas Inferno, just a little bit more, guys, and I feel like they can be within the top leagues of contention here in APAC-South.
Yeah, because if we had a look at last week and how they went toe-to-toe with Legends Gaming, they were only 2 points behind them, after Legends Gaming epic win right at the end there. But I still have beautiful dreams about that zip, that evac push right to the top of the tower. And, they had such a difficult, moment to try and scale up that hill when Zone was clawing in, and it was kind of make or break for them, but that's their mechanical skill. And I guess going in with the Devo first, we've been making jokes about that, Dax, hit the Devo first, up the evac, but it just paid off for them. And I'm really excited to see, them going forward and moving further into this.
Yeah, just to chime in real quick too, Las Vegas Inferno, they're the only team from the Pro League qualifiers that is within the top 7 right now. So it's already such a big case that it's your first foray in as a trio in the Pro League and you're doing this well.
Yeah, no, that's it. And it's just only more to come. It's just going to be, with these other steamroller teams sort of making their way into it, I'm just going to be eager to see how, I guess, they perform against Weibo, who are finally finding their footing here, and, DreamFire as well, Elfish, just being able to, push their way up into this. But, let's just take a recap over our overall standings and see exactly up until this week how everyone has been going. And, we've talked about them all this time. Legends Gaming still far out in front, and then Mkers very close behind, and X and Y, doing a excellent job today, move them up to 3rd place, Elfish.
Yeah, a little bit more to sort of be done though. Obviously, there's 3 more rounds to play, A versus B, A versus C, B versus C, so everyone's still getting at least a crack or 2 into, potentially making it into that top 10, that top 20 to make it through to the finals. And at the moment, nothing's really locked in. Like, perhaps apart from Legends making it through to the final 20, I don't think it's possible for them to drop out. But generally speaking, there's definitely still a lot of points on offer, and I think a few teams that can kind of make a strong run in at the back end of the season. It takes a little while to maybe get rolling. Some have not gotten rolling at all, but generally speaking, we've got quite a competitive field here, it feels like, especially with some of those bottom of the pack teams kind of picking things up. And as we've said, a couple of competition days to go. Obviously, we're here for day 4. Day 5 will be round 3 for A and C, and then B and C. And then, of course, that gets us into the finals on July 7th, which is always a good time.
Yeah, we got match point for the finals. So, we got to get through these triple round robins, Dax, and then we get to go right to match point, which is always an exciting time. I'm pretty certain it was a 10 games in split 1 that we had for match point. I thought it was going to be finished at 7, but I'm pretty certain Serenity, so Guild, made this in this absolute clutch moment, which pushed us to another game. You know, they have it in them. They can definitely pull something out of the bag, so I really hope that they can do something, you know, going into these matches.
Yeah, it was so close. It went the distance because, unfortunately for BearClaw, they just couldn't get the job done near their initial POI to begin with. And, well, it was all about Mkers then finding those wins in such endurance run for especially GM and Elfish, who casted all that action. But right now, I do want to look into how the top standings is looking here. 7 slots up for grabs. And truthfully, Legends Gaming so far above and beyond everyone else. I saw a post on Comp Apex for a while that it's what 99.8% chance for Legends to make land based on the points that they have. It's very understandable since their performance has just been sublime. And I think we can deepen the conversation we were having a while ago, right? Legends Gaming, are they the new powerhouse of APAC-South just because it has been incredible to see them perform at this level?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Dax. You know, they won the 25 points in the first week, then the next week, and then, you know, out of 6 matches, they didn't get that win, but then they backed it up in the following 6 matches. So they have definitely won a fair few, which is why they are so far out in front there. And you know what? There are obviously Mkers and stuff creeping upon them. But, you know, there are so many other teams that are so close together on our series. You know, they're only like a 1-point difference that do have that chance to sort of push Mkers out of their position. But yeah, at this point, Elfish, not a lot to catch Legends Gaming. But again, you know, can they do what they did last week? You know, in these next 6 matches. I don't know if you were watching, but they were but I would call it not kill farming, but they waited for a team to be respawned just so they could get that extra kill points to put them in first.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, I kind of echo your thoughts now, Dax, that Legends, I think, are probably the team to beat in the region. Has it been as dominant as it was for Moist, and was it as dominant as it was for Reignite? Honestly, it's kind of getting to that point, but then again, there's obviously always the discussion around when you do get into that final lobby, anything can happen. So yeah, there's dominance throughout the regular split, but we sort of saw again in split 1 this year, they didn't actually manage to finish with the dub overall there. So Anton Dumpling getting it done that time, and you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen again, although it is kind of like if you were a betting man right now, you'd be saying Legends Gaming win this split as well.
Yeah, well, we'll be able to get another Strafing Flame interview from today's 6 matches. Well, let's start off with our first match, guys. We're going to move back over to Storm Point. Let's take it away.
A group of Titans ready to clash. Here we go for our final set of today. A and B, which means some fan favorites are going to be here. DreamFire, Weibo still around. Well done, taking first and second from the previous set. But you got Mkers here, you got Legends Gaming. And I was telling you a while ago, Elfish, if Legends takes this again, we should just put Strafing Flame as an official talent for Longshot at that rate.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be spending enough time on the broadcast at that point to kind of make it justifiable, but I don't know. I mean, how easy is it going to be to have a solid, dominant performance starting up at Zeus Station? It's not exactly, you know, premium territory as far as a drop spot is concerned. We'll have to wait and see. I have faith.
Well, Legends Gaming, I do wonder how they're going to be playing an angle like this. From the north, it's difficult for them to safely rotate the way that they would like. Lightning Rod occupied here by Mkers. You have also nearby Guild Esports going to be there. Vegas in further from them, Command Center. And given as we are going to be seeing how the ring's going to be pulling, Weibo Gaming, who have moved into checkpoint in this group, they're the ones in the middle of things.
Nice and slow and steady maybe for Weibo. Would probably prefer that over the shenanigans that they ran into early on in the last couple of games of World's Edge. I mean, to be fair to Weibo, out of that first lobby, they did kind of get work done on both Stormpoint and on World's Edge, but yeah, the last couple of games just didn't come together for them, so they can keep themselves healthy into the mid and the late game. That seems to be where they really do a lot of their damage. BK Gaming started strong for today. Didn't really manage to impress too much beyond that first game. But that first game really carried them through the lobby. Like, they did definitely get enough work done to kind of say, well, we're pretty happy with that. And now, gonna have the second bite of the cherry.
One big game has brought a bunch of teams really to success here for the past few weeks. Grape Soda has been the most usual contender to that. BK Gaming, we see it here as they move into the trenches. And BearClaw, this is a squad that people have been watching out for too. Fenfu having some great stats. They have done incredible World's Edge performances. And I do wonder now, with BearClaw starting off on Stormpoint with the rest of the lobby, can they bring that success to this map here?
Doing a bit of scouting at the moment. Haven't really seen too much in those trenches. Las Vegas Inferno, the team that you wanted to highlight, working their way in behind Guild at the moment. Some shots actually going in that direction, and some received in response as well. It's not going to be a position that Las Vegas Inferno want to be spending too much time in. There'll be teams rotating in through the choke points just behind them.
I still feel like it's wild to say and see their name. Las Vegas Inferno.
Yeah.
Thailand.
That doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, actually, why is that? I just don't know. But
I mean,
anyway.
it's a Vegas org, and they signed this Thai squad. They deserve it, honestly. This has the core of the previous iteration of Outside from split number 1. They went through the Challenger circuit yet again with the new third, and they performed so very well that they're still doing so right now within the top 7. But it's like what we're saying all these international orgs from different regions put some money into APAC-South and give the support to the players that they need. Especially, we had the example, Guild Esports will have the Broken Armory, Kill Devil will be flying by them there.
Yep. Straight over the top. Still plenty of territory that can be picked up in and around these trenches, so Kill Devil not too late. Find themselves a small position of solace, though. Yeah, the pickings are becoming a little slim. The cheeky chip damage in there from Geekay Esports.
Formerly known as Boogie Borders, so another rebrand, another team that has gotten that support. More orgs here for APAC-South, but we've seen from Boogie Borders, slow starts have made most of their sets always a recovery kind of game. It also isn't massive for Boogie Borders. Kilopause has been usually good for 2 within a fight, but still some struggles very apparent for the team formerly known as Boogie Borders. Would love to see them back to the form to contend with the likes of Legends and Makers that we expect that they can do there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one of those teams that's struggling a little bit with the drop format. Having to sort of figure that out a little more so. Maybe they were a bit more comfortable than other teams with their standard rotations, and now that's kind of been thrown out of whack. Need to consider.
Yeah.
Weibo kind of keeping a bit of an eye on NoCredit at the moment, though it doesn't really seem like a whole lot's going to come from that engagement at the moment. Weibo more than happy to stay up on the high ground, and NoCredit not contesting them for it. It's a fairly favorable enough choice, right? Like, the zone has every possibility of shifting in here onto checkpoints, so not get too greedy and take too many fights. Like, obviously, it doesn't often go into checkpoint, but it's not impossible.
And you can always rotate. And Legends Gaming, an early knock onto Easy Flash. This is going to throw a wrench in their plans as they are rotating into the trenches themselves. Easy Flash now going to get mowed on down. Player K taking some big damage too, and Strafing Flame, our cold talent within the field now. They do have a pilot into play. There's also going to be a medkit there for Player K to bring himself alive. Strafing Flame has been topping the damage starts for so very long so far, bringing in more. The DreamFire on the other hand, this guy, I hate the world, 10k from the last set. A knock already to start things off here versus A and B.
Yeah, looking to continue to dominate, but does get traded back down 1 for 1. It's not really the start that DreamFire is going to be looking for. Decent damage out of the 30-30 repeater there for 3MZ. I don't know how easy it is going to be to get the revive, though. This might end up just being a duo for DreamFire, especially considering it is I Hate the World that's gone down, and so now you don't even have Bang Smokes to try and find that revive, but having got that extra knock, it will open the door up. There's some extra shots coming through from the side, though. That was almost a FireBird. Azu causing some problems as well. And so in the end, DreamFire will have to go along with only a couple, though they do quickly get the respawn out.
good there towards down Beast. Also to take note, NoCredit the one knocking down MXF as they pushed away from checkpoint, and MXF eliminated by Lux's G7 scout from afar. Nicely placed shots. Guild though, here towards the north still, and I would love to see Guild find that recovery period here. It was just so tough to see them only get one single point really from that last outing. You said it a while ago though, DreamFire up to a trio, and here they come, looking now to give thanks to NoCredit by shooting back at them.
3MZ still needs to go and get a little bit looted. Rather, is I hate the world, I should say, that needs to do that. Goes back over to his death box and is able to retrieve it pretty quick. Smart. Keep going gaming in the meanwhile. Oh, good damage early on in the piece there from Tree Cleaner, though. The follow-up isn't really there, and so it's down to just Weibo now, who's going to have to get the job done solo, pushing out ahead of his teammates and into the smoke. It's just never going to happen. Keep going gaming. Eliminated. 19th place for game 1 of the lobby. Bit of a nothing fight, really. Like that's just a weird one that kind of, you're like, okay, well, I guess we're done now.
It fizzled out so quickly for KPG, and I just want to give props also to the newest member of WMFB here. It's KZ, actually from their previous sister team, WMNDY. So many letters to say there, Elfish. But yeah, they had a little bit of a collab coming into the LA LAN. And with that being said, they're combining the squad now, coming into APAC-South. So new member to watch out for WarMonster FireBird. An old face though, very memorable, easy flash back into the fight.
Yeah, I hope you know your ABCs. It seems like you do, so that's good. When shift is gone.
I had to think, what are the right letters? What is the combination of their name?
It's madness sometimes, but anyway, WarMonster FireBird not going to be too disappointed with the zone shift. It has gone further and further west, so that'll be favorable enough for them. But also not too bad for Weibo, who have still held on top of checkpoint. They don't have to move. DreamFire also pretty happy. They got back to 3. Of course, has to be mentioned. Well, let's see what WarMonster FireBird can do in this push. They will run into NoCredit at some point.
Not only that, you can see the ring pulling now towards the west here. HKUF having the only bunker that is within the next zone. Likes of Legends and the rest are gonna have to move later on, and just because of that knock onto Easy Flash, you can see that the Legends game has stalled so far. Weibo the ones with that height. Mkers have made their way in also, but Final Dream have a lot of gear to work with. They're putting the pressure on. Motherload being set here, and it's MDY their target from afar.
Geekay Esports eliminated in the meanwhile off screen. That's at the hands of Guild, so maybe a positive change for that Guild roster as they're able to start the day poorly, but perhaps finish the day strong. That's something that we'll be following over the course of these 6 games. MDY going to see their Beast of the Hunt running out. Las Vegas Inferno in a bunch of smokes at the moment. Can't really see a whole lot.
You gotta smoke, everyone gotta smoke. I love watching things in grayscale. Reminds me of the 1950s. But Bolin on the board, onto Guild. Vegas Inferno also heading on out, searching for the rest of Guild right now. Kill Devil piling pressure on from afar. It's KD who has been a bit of a surprise here. Bolin the rest doing really well compared to their split 1 outing, wherein they were last place in Pro League. It's just that extra addition of Bolin boosting up the squad to perform even better here.
Well, you know what? I might have spoken a little bit too soon when it comes to Guild, because they're down to just Jesco, and he's floating around behind Kill Devil at the moment. Got about 50 seconds to try to go for the banners, and so trying to keep his head down, which is working out nicely for the moment. He's got one of them. Don't know where you get a respawn in all of this, though. This is probably wishful thinking for Guild, so thought that they might have started the day well. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Unfortunate, but see what Final Dream's going to be able to do on their push. They are actually quite far out the zone.
Look, if he makes it towards checkpoint, maybe he can sneak that res. So we'll see if Guild can go a bit further than what we've seen so far. Bochik actually in hand here. For NoCredit. Also Lux, after all the damage that he's done so far, ready for red armor. That'll be a good starting point here for NoCredit. Now they have a good front line to work with. I've also noticed they've really returned to the Watson coming into Storm Point. They experimented a few times over the past few weeks, Elfish, playing the cat on Savior, but comfort is king, and that's what NoCredit is doing right now. BearClaw, though, trouble is afoot, and Heck is going to get down here.
Yeah, through the fire and flames, it might not be going very well for them. Mkers gonna make short work of them, potentially. Guild Esports out in the meanwhile. Jesco was eventually found out. It looks like Mkers have moved in alongside Weibo Gaming, but it doesn't seem as though there's a whole lot of room left for anybody else. These two teams on top of Countdown are going to try to hold on for that for dear life. MDY underneath, still on the move, using those smokes to their advantage. And it's looking a bit dangerous.
Taking a position here to find Fenfu of BearClaw. Big pick. Now they can actually gatekeep VK Gaming and the rest from moving into checkpoint. Outside, also gonna get eliminated here by Fruit Salad. BearClaw now has been wiped on. Now we're down to 14 as this ring will close on in. But for every single team in checkpoint here, they are ready for a rude awakening. Time to head out back to the trenches. HKUF, the one safe position, and VK will look to push in to just at least get a position moving forward here.
Yeah, this is going to be very awkward indeed. Legends just being eliminated on the kill feed there. You can see VK Gaming, you know, they want to push forward, but I think at the moment, actually what they really have to be a little bit more prepared for is the push coming from behind, because as those teams start to filter out of checkpoint, they're going to be the team to try to push through. Vegas Inferno taking it slow. Everybody taking it slow at the moment. Trying to figure out what on earth do we even do now.
Exactly. 8 squads are within the vicinity of checkpoints. There are 2 ways out. One towards DreamFire, the other towards VK. But a lot of infighting within the next few seconds. It's going to be happening here. NoCredit also. Pressure now applied. We do have Final Dream and WarMonster FireBird looking to see an opportunity. LGD backing away from this one, but eventually Weibo, MDY, those teams will have to move out soon.
Patience a virtue at the moment. LGD might be the team that is going to be worst off of anyone, really, because they're on the complete opposite side of the zone to where the circle has shifted. Weibo's still up on the high ground. They won't be feeling too bad about things at the moment. A couple of good shots in from the bow check. Lots of connections even here for Gugu.
Oh.
Okay, and a knock as well now. So that's starting to get really quite problematic indeed.
Precision. Man's playing Hawkeye here, basically. Bringing a boat to a gunfight. Works out for Gugu. Mkers making their way in also, but they keep taking a bit of damage. Now the Rolling Thunder going to be played, but we're watching still. The bow check do beautiful things! What marksmanship we just witnessed here from Gugu, taking the kill leaders at 2. He has 4 on the board.
Oh, he's kind of farming, isn't he?
Yep.
Pretty insane. Looking for some more. Gan's going to go through, and that should be the end of yet another team. It's MDY that get eliminated on the receiving end of that one. In the meanwhile, WarMonster FireBird, Vegas Inferno also down, but Weibo very quickly dropped to LGD as well. To be fair, they kind of had their cake. They didn't get to eat it as well, but they got some points out of that game. So the day continues to be a positive one for Weibo.
Absolutely. And of all the teams that survived, it's LGD who plays it perfectly. They did play the furthest angle from the ring itself, but with that being said, they have even evac towers to get out. Seems like, yes, that's gonna be the case. Watch out for LGD later on. HKUF, they've had the zone with them. Mkers gonna get eliminated here by VK, and we're left to 4. You said it a while ago to Elfish. VK, good start on game number 1. Chance now to do it again in a second set for them.
Yeah, it'd be a good start twice in a row, wouldn't it? But I don't know if they're in the pole position to close this one off. HKUF are holding on to the donut. And to be fair, these trenches are very, very playable, but sometimes you do get sent. Kind of interested to see where LGD end up finishing. They're still on the countdown side. So, still some question marks as to what they're going to end up doing.
They're regrouping on the second floor because they need the extra height on the evac tower. They're waiting for LD, so a regroup there. We're watching DreamFire also very good position right now to continue what they've been doing so far. But with that extra elevation, Beiju and the rest can go through the cliffs and land on the roof. So LGD back into the fight here.
Okay, the roof is pretty safe, it seems. There's no angle coming through from BKG. Certainly not from DreamFire either. And HKUF is on the receiving end of this push. They're inside of the donut. And apparently it's pretty yummy. LGD are really trying to take control of this position. They're going to do it pretty solidly as well. It's 2-for-1 trade, pretty quick, smart, and HKUF go down very quickly indeed. The problem is for LGD, that's the dinner bell being rung for DreamFire, and now it's DreamFire versus VK Gaming. Finish off game 1.
Casa, he's gonna get dropped. DreamFire took the opportunity since LGD took long in that first fight. Now the 3MC and the rest can take this rooftop away. A slide on down. I Hate the World continuing in. No Name brought the damage in the last set. Now he's gonna get down here, but QQ will get traded. All left for the Watson here. DreamFire with advantage. A slide on Indo. Knockdown shield for the cover. Defense to try and get a little bit of the zap, but the spark is BK's to get. They win a game number 1 here.
Yeah, they win another game number 1 here. It has to be said. They won game 1 of that previous lobby. They win game 1 of this lobby as well, but whether or not they're going to put more together. Obviously, didn't really manage to convert from game 1 onwards in that first lobby, so that's kind of the name of the game for this next one.
Yeah, they always come out really strong in the first couple of games there for VK Gaming taking that win. But you know what? I just want to talk about Weibo still keeping momentum going into their 7th game today. Gugu hitting those bow shots, just stopping NoCredit's rotate and eliminating them in a blink of an eye. That was so exceptional. And you know what? I guess having, LGD take that rotate from the evac tower over the top and taking out HKUF, not without some casualties, but my God, that was A versus B. We have such a stacked lobby kicking things off in Stormpoint. Elfish, what a great first game.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit disappointed if you're HKUF there, because at the end of the day, you haven't really done anything wrong. It's just kind of been a case of, well, these guys landed on us. They want to fight. We have to fight. And ultimately, you end up getting third-partied, or in fact, they went down, to be fair, but, there's every possibility that LGD lands on DreamFire, or they land on VK, and then it's a completely different final sort of a fight there for HKUF, but either way, they were kind of doomed as soon as LGD decided that they wanted to land on top of that donut, because they get stuck in that fight. Even if they win that fight, they do get third-partied up. So, rough, unfortunate, but still, a top 4 finish is not something to be too disappointed by. How about this, though, from Gugu?
Yeah.
The bow check. The connections were pretty insane. It was NoCredit that just kind of got farmed.
Yeah, it's not like shooting fish in a barrel exactly, but this is exactly what we see from Gugu, just absolutely obliterating the whole team. Collecting some nice kills for them was just an exceptional feat from them. I did want to sort of bring up, unfortunate start again for GK. Previously, Boogie Borders, they were falling about 18th out of this lobby. They're not known to do incredibly well on Storm Point, but I was very much hoping that they would have been able to pull something out this week. But, we still have another 5 games for them to sort of turn things around. But, VK Gaming, they held this position so well. They had so much kill points going on into this, and just having, this one from Vitamin C just being able to collect that kill along with a Watson fence being placed down. Watson v. Watson, Elfish. What great entertainment.
Yeah, indeed. But VK Gaming were the ones to walk away with the ultimate victory. Has to be said, though, DreamFire managing a 2nd place. They are continuing their pretty consistent run today. Whatever they've done from the previous couple of weeks to come back into this week, it seems like they should continue to do that, because it has been much, much better this week from DreamFire, and another sort of late season run in for a top 20 position and maybe even a top 10. Weibo also, has to be said, wasn't a bad game from them. So take a look at the scoreboard here overall, see where we have ended after game number 1. VK, they started with 23 points in the last lobby, so this wasn't quite as good, but hey, you'll take it.
That's it. You know, they start out strong. This is a team that sort of goes into their matches and they're all prepped and ready to go. But you know what? Then I guess comes in the juggernauts like DreamFire today and Weibo to sort of take those positions. But LGD Gaming, another really fantastic game from them as well. You know, they've had a lot of matches today also. And just to see, I guess, these teams keeping the momentum, you know, against Legends Gaming falling out at 13th. You know, this is such a good thing. Also, Kill Devil have been having a great performance. You know, for Split 2, them falling a little bit short, you know, but NoCredit, I want to have a little bit of a conversation. Yes, you know, Gugu took them out on their rotate, but, you know, that team, they got, you know, about 5 kill points there in and amongst the chaos. So it's a great thing to see them, you know, in the top 10 positions, Elfish.
Yeah, indeed. Still 5 more games to go, so we've got plenty more to talk about. Let's not get too far ahead of things. I mean, look, at this point, just get me out of here.
You're just getting shorter and shorter. That's it. Just keep. That's it. There we go. It's my show today now, guys. But we're going to take ourselves a short little break, and we will see you shortly. And I'm sure Elfish will be back. See you guys in a moment. And welcome back, everyone. We like to have a little bit of fun here at the Long Shot Production, but not as much fun as VK Gaming taking out the superb win there on Storm Point for our match number 1. They got themselves 22 points in our first game, Elfish, and not following long after them is LGD Gaming in 14 with 14 points.
Yeah, look, it's something that's going to change up quite substantially as we go through the rest of this lobby. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But DreamFire
Everything a little bit crazy here, but you know what? We're over halfway into our split 2. Things things got to go wrong. Things aren't going to go our way. But, you know, VK Gaming, everything seems to be going their way in this first game. You know, it's only the first of this group. So we still have another 5 matches to go with some Legends Gaming in the mix. We do have some really top contenders coming back to play in another 5 matches. Mkers as well, being one of those, you know, top teams that have been performing incredibly well through this split, Elfish. So, you know, we still have so much action to unfold. So it's going to be exciting to see if DreamFire, LGD Gaming can keep momentum going, you know, being their 7th match.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a factor. Like, fatigue is a huge thing. You know, I mean, we can speak to it as well. Like, we've been here since the start of the day, and maybe not such a big factor in Game 7, Game 8, stuff like that. I usually tend to feel pretty tired once we kind of go from game sort of 10 onwards. Like, Game 10, 11, and 12 of the day is where it's like, I've been here for a few hours now, and I'm getting a bit tired. You know, want to have some food, and maybe you had a little bit of food in the break, but, like, you didn't really have the opportunity to sort of get a whole lot in, so it's one of those things, and I think at the end of the day, you have to have a lot more of a mental investment in the game, right, when you're a player, so you're getting tired a lot faster. So
yeah, well, let's head over
to
our game number 2, everyone. We're going to jump straight back into things. Let's take it away on Storm Point.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see it here. Legend selection yet again. Always about the Bang Blood with the Fuse, with the Catalyst, as well as the Watch one, which has been very much so popular. But game number 2, we're still looking to see if there can be some big games from some big players. You got Legends Gaming will be landing here in Zoo Station, looking for VK Gaming 2 to continue what they started off with here at Sito Station. And that's the thing you were talking about, Elfish, a while ago. VK, sure, they won the first game in the previous set, but it wasn't enough for them to continue on and have a high bearing. This time around, it's the same kind of case, and do they fall off again, or have they learned this time around?
Yeah, look, I'll be hoping to say yes, but I don't know if I can necessarily say that is going to be the case. Didn't really convince me in the first lobby, but look, I mean, 2 wins in a day is not something that most teams get, so I guess that's got to win you some degree of brownie points. But we'll wait and see. We'll take it slow. Not get too far ahead of ourselves just yet. VK Gaming hopefully be doing the same, right? They can't be resting on their laurels and just getting happy with like 1 win. Because as far as the overall standings for the split are concerned, like, yeah, sitting in 4th at the moment, but honestly kind of in a position to push for even anywhere up to 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, between 4th to 10th, they're just separated by around, what, 8 points right now. So it's crazy to think there is no real way for some of these teams to be safe. But look at this ring, and what am I looking at? This is pretty similar to what we had in the previous game, but it's a little bit more of the east taken here of Northpad. The 2 compounds, very much so available, but it's a similar rotation for many of these teams. Fruit Salad, Weibo Gaming, those are the squads who are in position already, and Fruit Salad fighting for their lives. It's Geekay on the opposite end.
I mean, that North pad could definitely come into play, but I mean, for VK Gaming, looking at this one and thinking, okay, great, we can sort of run it back. Let's just try to set ourselves up, similar position, work with that. Got early rotates coming through from Geekay Esports. You can see that already coming into effect, and Fruit Salad, they don't have to move. Weibo Gaming probably going to play similarly, quite slow in checkpoint. Although, I mean, if they know that the zone's going to pull a bit further out to Northpad, do they gamble on checkpoint again? I think that would be a big conversation happening inside that camp at the moment.
I mean, they won't know because they start on the Fuse, who doesn't have the Ringmaster, until you have Blues. I also think, if I'm seeing the map correctly, there's no Ring console on checkpoint right now, so it's difficult for Weibo Gaming to make those kind of calls with only a little bit of ring information. But Weibo, they decide to play into down piece where the console is set, and this time around they're gonna have a better lay of the land here, Elfish. At least they know what's going on here.
Yeah, interesting. Still going to have to move, but it'll be a good staging point. Early exchange happening though right now between Outside and GK, and that's not gone very well for Outside at all. Amelia is the last one able to have any kind of an impact on this round, and Outside just a little bit too little too late for them making it into that donut, and they do get punished by GK for it.
Amelia surviving with a sliver of HP, moving over to the Trident, but some good tracking yet again from Kilopause. A standout here for GK Esports. We also see Fruit Salad defending their claim over onto Northpad. That height and some 30-30 action. See Outside now, eliminated here by Weibo Gaming, BK Gaming, right behind Fruit Salad, and this is going to be interesting for BK. They're taking a more proactive position early on, just to try and continue the momentum they had from game number 1.
Most definitely. I'd love to see it.
Let's go there.
You know, let's get another strong team in the mix, right? We've got a lot to say about Weibo and DreamFire today, and we know Legends at some point are probably going to do a bit of work in this lobby, so if we add BK Gaming to the list as a team that we're really keeping an eye on, then that's like 4 really strong looking teams in this lobby. But they're not there yet.
I wouldn't be surprised because BK has had incredible performances in scrims and in the offseason, but HKUF, a newer team on the block, bit of struggles there. Yao able to go for the res right now, and HKUF fighting against NoCredit here over at Checkpoint. It's 2 though, still standing for NoCredit. Same can be said as HungKuang is down yet again. Deja vu, but they should be fine. A little bit of a reset for both of the teams here.
Weibo in an engagement, and you don't want to be in an engagement against Weibo. GK, have they bitten off more than they can chew?
Yeah.
I have to imagine that is the case, and they end up going out in 19th place. So Weibo just continue to run through teams. No stopping them today.
It's been so problematic for the squad formerly known as the Boogie Boarders, right? Always taken out early, struggling to make that kind of impact given you have a star-studded roster. Ooh. But that tracking, it's strafing play! And the MNK is ready to do magic again. Prowler out, easy flash there for the cover. And Legends Gaming skill is one. Legendary, that's what they are though. And Weibo falls to their hand there.
Yeah, well, Weibo, they had their moment in the sun, and then it was time for Legends to have theirs, and jeez, that was a clean spray from strafing, but doesn't certainly help Weibo out at all. DreamFire also having a bit of a look there. Strafing Flame will be confirmed by Pete, I can see in the kill feed. It seems to be a bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't type position to go into. If you take that fight, you're probably in trouble. If you don't take that fight, well, you lose control of the position, but either way, losing members anytime you take a fight in that position. So DreamFire end up in the donut for now, but is it a cursed position? Is this cursed location? If anyone's going to be able to hold on to it at the moment, it will surely be DreamFire, because they've been good at holding down positions. They've been good at guessing circles as well today. They've had quite a lot of circle luck, so set up, and now it's time to put up another good game for DreamFire, and I imagine they can do it.
I mean, they've had their best game in the split coming into today, and as of right now, they're in a good position. A while ago, HKUF perhaps a little bit more inexperienced running these kind of locations. DreamFire, you know the pedigree, we all know the pedigree, and as of right now, they're taking away a little bit of Legends Gaming, who has actually gotten the banner of Strafing Flame back. So if they can get a respawn beacon or Moby along the way, it can be helpful. HKUF though, and MXF this time around, the ones contending for Checkpoint, as this ring will head west yet again.
MXF waiting to see if there's going to be any kind of shenanigans from HKUF, who, to be fair, are on the move. They recognize they got to get a bit of a wriggle on. And there's the zone you're talking about, going again toward the west, so it's actually very, very close to the same circle as the previous that we had. Just a little bit more north, maybe.
Yeah, that's literally just it. Just a smidge towards the top. Get a little bit more for Legends and DreamFire is, rather than only having the MDY bunker, basically. So it's a bit of deja vu for sure. It's the same thing for many of these teams, and they're going to realize this really quickly. You can already see NoCredit has left behind Checkpoint. HKUF doing the same too, heading towards down piece as Kill Devil will move from the north.
I'm more than happy to hold a little more of a northern position outside of that donut, but also keeping my eyes on BK Gaming. Here's Mkers though. Coming down from the wall, Kill Devil. They find themselves in a bit of a spot of bother right here. It's a good crossfire setup for Dexter, Ziki, and Asia, who hold the two oranges. Kill Devil want to assault the more northern of the oranges, and so far that's gone okay for them. They got inside. Arcstar up into the roof, but won't really do a huge amount of damage with that.
I mean, as soon as they landed, Mkers, they went for the scan. They knew that Kill Devil was coming their way, and as of right now, Ziki and the rest looking just from extra loot from the corpses perhaps of Kill Devil. But it's gonna be a big fight. KD is a squad to respect right now. And as it stands, Dexter smoking things out. They do get scanned though. Maker's gonna try and go for a few sky nades here. You got Ziki and Asia still up top the nut, and for the time being, Kill Devil trying to play into cover. So a bit of safety. Makers now just zipping on away to the other orange here. Asia, sure, he does get crapped in the shield. He's fine to reset while this happens. A little bit of slows. Makers will get back into cover as Kill Devil will just watch them try and hide.
Legends just got a respawn. Back to full strength. As close to full strength as you can be this late in the game when you're going for a respawn, but all good. Slowed down a little bit now. Most teams have kind of made their way in to at least the round 2 ring. Round 3 will get a little bit more interesting. It's another 50-50 split between Checkpoint and sort of North Pad. This jostle for position happening over the North Pad side of the circle is definitely more congested. But it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world to be like that last team coming through from Checkpoint.
If you see this ring, it's just touching towards the west and towards down B, so it's more likely to end here by the trenches. And perhaps some confirmation bias from our squads. It happened last time. Guys, please don't play at the checkpoint. Things can go awry there, but DreamFire now. We see the chaos unfold, the battlefield, and they're in the middle of things. You got Pete just running on around, looking to regroup with the rest of DreamFire. He's back with the cover, and he's still on his feet. Never mind, though. Savior finds him from afar. Where did that shot come from? HKUF gonna get eliminated there by KPG, but it's DreamFire we're watching. Look to stay alive as a duo.
This is definitely cause for concern for DreamFire, but I think I saw a Moby Res Beacon in there for them, so maybe something that they can still work with. Not going to count my chickens before they hatch just yet. DreamFire's a solid team. I can't imagine they're going to go down without a fight. Makers still being held outside of the ring for the moment, but should have plenty of resources available to them for the foreseeable future. Yeah, but exist outside the ring for the moment and take their time on their way in.
Legends though, different fight. Easy flash does get knocked, and DreamFire making them work for it. No name still an utter threat so far. Player K playing the distance as per usual. Has a charge rifle in hand. He's always been good with the snipers here for Legends, and it's been instrumental for an anchor here for Legends themselves. With Strafing Play now versus I Hate the World. No name on the other front. Top 2 damage dealers right now from what we've seen in these lobby runs. And Legends Gaming able to hold off DreamFire, yes, and regroup with Easy Flash, just shoving him back into cover here. Oh, Player K, he's fine, he's good. And Legends, at least this trio is looking to reset themselves when they can. Oh.
Nope, not gonna happen. This will have to be another respawn for Legends, who, to be fair, make it happen, but they've got teams on top of them now. They're sensing the blood in the water. Strafing Flame's gonna go down. It's Fruit Salad that have decided to rock up, and last member is on the run. Another point for Fruit Salad. Yummy, yummy. Extra one. Happy days.
Yeah, just maybe add a little bit of glove to that one, but Fruit Salad has had enough of waiting for this 2v2 to finish, and they took matters into their own hands. MDY though finding KPG. Guild gonna be gone too, and it's BK Gaming. The back-to-back looking unlikely with QQ, the only one in a good spot here. Great movement to get back into cover. Casa also finding cover right now to stay on alive. And DreamFire, as well as Kill Devil, unable to find these 2 targets. So VK Gaming, they can breathe a sigh of relief as they're still alive as a duo here.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be the back-to-back dub, like you say, but they can find another point or 2, even some placement points on their way through as a duo. It'll go a long way in maintaining first place. This lobby, at least. It's still very early days. Any more matches to be played. or more after this one. Here's MXF.
Still more to come here at Checkpoint. LGD trying to play the long game yet again, but this time around, they're the ones losing out against MXF, who are in position to jump in a leap for SR run. And truly, MXF going out of their bounds and moving forward for even more points. That's a good wipe. Now they're the only ones here by Checkpoint that they can safely find perhaps an evac tower or quick rotation to make their way into the next ring.
They've still got a bit of time to play with, so they don't need to panic too much just yet. Yeah, that is going to be a hefty rotate that they'll have to make. NoCredit. Moving along quite fine. Might catch who that respawn was going to be. I think it might have been Legends Gaming, though.
It's not.
Perhaps I'm wrong.
Yes.
Was it NoCredit?
I mean, I'm trying to check things out. But I do feel like Legends Gaming, they have the banners in their hands. Just can't find a way to safely bring back the two alive. NoCredit, those struggles now as everyone's looking at them. They still keep an eye out on Player K. Looking to build some placement points here for Legends Gaming, but very cheeky indeed. He's already been down. The MDY have set their sights onto NoCredit. Action afoot also between BearClaw and Mkers. Mkers trying to make a push happen. They are fended off for the time being by BCG, who have such a good setup inside.
Yeah, Mkers holding behind the smoke for the moment. Even Beast of the Hunt not revealing any opponents. Geekay Gaming do get eliminated. The back-to-back once again will be denied from one lobby to the next. Chip damage from BearClaw as they try to lock down their bunker. Mkers might be about to meet their Mkers. It's just next up. Which, you know, he can get a bit of damage done. Like, he can get some chip damage there, but he's never going to be able to win that fight. Even if he were, there was enough teams around to cause problems. So he'll try to make it on his own now as a solo.
Very far found here by the Vegas Inferno. It was a struggle though for Mkers. They tried to push into the Autumn setup. They're left with a single Dexter. They'll look to find a few kills elsewhere, but Vegas Inferno pinging now, noticing BCG setup. They go for the scan. They realize BearClaw has already left them behind. And the Rolling Thunder gonna be the call here for Aflo. You also hear the Beast of the Hunt. YR wanting to go for the push. And Excepto from up top. A fight versus MDY. XX and Bebe doing some great damage so far. Asarin trying to use his teammates for cover, but to no avail. MDY ready to bring into pain, and they're looking for more here as they move forward.
Too many options for MXF there, you can see, just trying to figure out who to shoot at what time, and then you end up splitting your damage 50-50 between two players. It's not the way to go. Focus more important, and that's what we're getting from, well, against maybe even BearClaw Gaming. It's just heck alive, and they are swept aside. MDY again doing that damage. Vegas Inferno in the mix.
Oh no, they're next.
End of the day, down to just the one player, and they also will fall at the hands of Kill Devil.
And Fruit Salad was thinking about it. Could have been a wait, there's more moment, but he said it. Kill Devil, good in the spots, and they will take all the loot there nearby. MDY though in a very good position. It's been a few adjustments for MDY. You can see Auguster now on the Bangalore roll. They built in XX from formerly of AGL. It's a new look without the catalyst that they have been focusing on for most of the season. But MDY leaping onto NoCredit now. They have the height. They're dropping down into the pylon. XX gets mowed down though. Doesn't expect it's a Peacekeeper nearby. And MDY, there's trouble afoot, but they still wipe away NoCredit there.
Yeah, that Havoc doing some real work in Bebe's hands. MDY up to second for the lobby now, and honestly going to be making a run in for first. They shouldn't be too far away from VK Gaming, who got knocked out a little earlier on. And if they keep fragging the way that they are, then I think they're going to run away with this game, the way things are looking. Legends, to be fair, very happy with how things are progressing given the circumstances. Player K has been a solo for a while now, but has been locked down, hunkering in the bunker. Getting placement points.
WarMonster FireBird has been trying to fumigate Player K for so long already. Fruit Saldo with the spot. Aquitas has the Beast of the Hunt. And beautiful beams there. Looking for the final one with a 30-30. And it's Bebe who goes bye-bye so far. Fruit Salado, they're in a bit of danger. Aquitas needs to get the reset going by Euler and Scholar trying to provide cover. But Kill Devil is on the hunt. Fruit Salad now eliminated. Bolin bringing in the lead. Levy also with the Beast of the Hunt here. And it's perfect for Kill Devil. Opportunity knocks. And it's Kill Devil who answers. And here comes
Might have spoken
more.
too soon. Yeah, MDY down out of the picture pretty early on in the piece. The final 3, Kill Devil looking for it with Beast of the Hunt. 13 seconds to go. Bolin will drop early. Almost a FireBird. The quick trade comes back through onto them. Havoc out. Big spray. That's the end of one.
Whoa!
And it's down to just one more left. But Legends Gaming walk away as the champions out of nowhere. Player K's like, sup, I'm on the roof. How did that happen?
Player K just sat there, watched that all unfold, and once the children started behaving, it was his win. The Rat will take it. Legends will get a huge haul of placement points because of that.
There, Legends Gaming, the masters of the clutch, losing a teammate only strengthens their power. They eliminated Weibo in their sights. They managed to get a respawn, and then shortly after, I think they had a tough tango with DreamFire and Fruit Salad, which made Player K a solo. But look at that little Watson go, Dax. The little Watson that could just sitting idly by for Kill Devil just to be able to, I guess, just wait and buy the time. But Kill Devil, they were going full force, Dax.
Yeah, I wonder though if we could actually hear what Legends had to say about that moment, because they just sat there. No one really expected them to take that dub after everything was said and done, because like Player K was just sitting so pretty. But I guess you mentioned it, Lace. I'm looking around, of course, with how the teams did perform. It was such a good fight from the following: MDY, Kill Devil, WarMonster, FireBird. It's insane to think after everything is said and done, though, that those 3 teams that really performed in that lobby, they still couldn't get the dub because they were too busy fighting one another.
Yeah, it was just insane. Like, this fight from them, it was a little bit of a tough situation, Legends Gaming, going into this fight. But, they're holding off a dear life. Easy flash, just pulling out the goods, eliminating Weibo was just the start of things, Dax. They shortly after had to have a little bit of a fight, like I said, with DreamFire and Fruit Salad. And then, Player K getting away as a solo, and we see what happens there.
I wonder if we'll actually get the POV. It's one of those, huh? Oh! Time to win kind of moments, right? It's like, wait a minute, I can take this. And exactly what just happened there, I think really the biggest consideration is MDY was such a monster in that lobby. 14 KP to them, some immense damage done, especially by XX, the new member to the only MDY roster. And you can see that they were just so confident, XX and the rest, taking the fight to any kind of squad. They don't rely on the Catalyst setup anymore. They're just willing to send it, especially with the Fuse in tow. But Kill Devil, opportunity, especially courtesy of Bolin, WarMonster, FireBird, biding their time well. And look at this shot from Shark. Bang! Hits the marker, and then Player K says, oh cool, mine.
I thought it was over with that excellent shot with the charged up Senti, but you know what? Legends Gaming were just waiting for their time, and there we go at the tippity top, with kills along the way. They did an exceptional rotate from, the top of the map into all that chaos, but WarMonster, FireBird, Kill Devil, MDY, Dax, look at that, 14 kills. They were unstoppable. Everything in their path, they would just take down. I want to give also like a commendable effort to NoCredit. They were a duo when MDY decided to, I guess take their spot as well. But, they had such a great feat as well, taking down and making it a 2v2, but it just wasn't enough. But that brings them with all those kills right to the top.
Yeah, and with that being said, they did take the most points from that game with 19. Legends Gaming, though, just because of that victory from Player K, within the top 3, they go 18 points as a whole. And they are going to be tied up with WarMonster, FireBird, VK Gaming, though. Same kind of story, Lace, and Elfish was really talking about it in that last set. Where does VK Gaming go after map number 1? They have faded on away again. Hopefully, this time they're going to recover even better because they're in still a good spot here.
Yeah, usually they sort of tinker down a little bit of the leaderboard, but they're always winning that first match, and then it is, I guess, a wonder as to why they're not backing it up as much. But, you know, it's paving the way for all these other teams to sort of come forth. But yeah, Legends Gaming just moved up 10 spots. You know, their first game wasn't the best, but as we, you know, have seen from previous weeks, this is the steamroll effect they have. It just keeps going and going and going. So I'm sure we're going to see more from them as well. But we're going to take a short little break. That was an exciting match from us, but don't go anywhere because we're going to have more after the break.
Surprise.
Welcome back, everyone. What a thrilling game number 2 for our groups A versus B. We saw the flick of the wrist from Kill Devil, but what a jaw-dropping moment where player K, the little Watson that could, peeking from height, taking the clutch Dax. Holy guacamole.
Oh man, it's just, you thought you'd have the highlight reel there for MDY, for Kill Devil, and especially WarMonster FireBird with Shark's incredible shot. But then, who just removes the record from the player, right? Who's the one that wins it when the dust settles? It's Legends Gaming, who had a solo to take it. Player K, you're great at what you do, and it's just so amazing to see again Legends Gaming eking out the maximum amount of points that they can get in bad situations or in close situations by just using a lot more of perhaps their pedigree, their game sense, and really some of the smartest decisions coming into the lobbies we've seen here in APAC-South.
Yeah, speaking of highlight reels, you know, their game last week where they're just farming some more kills to push them to that first position to get them another 25 series points. And then again, Player K just clutching the win as a solo because he left all his teammates behind, you know. But I've got to commend MDY. A huge 14 kill game has pushed them way to the top, up about 5 spots above VK Gaming at 24 points. So it is incredibly close going into game number 3.
Yeah, anything can really happen here. Can Legends take it away from MDY? Will MDY still have that kind of performance, or will VK show one up? I do wonder who can get it.
Well, let's find out right now, Dax, as we head over to back to Storm Point for game number 3.
Ready for another bout of action. Well, stay tuned, stick around, keep it on your seats, just because that's exactly what Player K did a while ago. Welcome back here to game number 3. And if you're just tuning on in, Legends Gaming, they're in the top 3 right now, not because of their usual big performance, but by the ratting antics of Player K to take that last game.
Yeah, gotta take it though, take it as it comes. It's not the kind of opportunity that rolls around all that often, and you feel like a bit of a hero when you win a round like that. You know, everyone's been there, everyone's had their, you know, one little game like that, but to do it in an ALGS match is a bit of a different story. And speaking of different stories, well, I don't know, it's not really too much of a different story when it actually comes to those zone shifts. Again, we're going pretty hard north, obviously this time quite a bit further out toward the west, over toward Down Beast, but by and large, it's still the same kind of rotations for a lot of teams.
Yeah, so no trenches this time, not as much as before, but it's like we had a pin during map number 1, and the ring decided we're gonna go north once, and we're gonna go south once from there. So a little bit more of Down Beast. I do see outside already getting in position. I wonder how Weibo's gonna move, and actually Weibo, oh, Gugu's actually disconnected, so a little bit unfortunate. They're not going to be able to rotate into Down Beast to find that ring console information the way that they would like.
Yeah, but that'll be something that hopefully gets rectified sooner rather than later. In an ideal world. Outside the ring. In a bit of a spot of bother there, copping a few shots on their little rotate. It's actually Fruit Salad that are going to head in their direction, so I wonder if looking at this outside are going to get the, you know, little spider sense in the back of their mind saying, well, they're rotating here, and HKUF are coming up from the south as well, who they might be able to see in a moment. Perhaps zone's going to be ending on Down Beast, but the problem is outside have moved away from their drop location, and they've given up, well, as what would essentially be Godspot on top of Down Beast.
Yeah, I mean, if it ends there, right, and as soon as they realize, oh, Fruit Salad's going the other way, something has to be up, especially since they came from a ring console error. Just to correct myself, Weibo do have a ring console now in checkpoint. It's Down Beast that doesn't have the ring console here, and that's why you see outside move on away. HKUF though, BK Gaming all moving on forward. Guild Esports still always loving to run this kind of rotation past the trenches. They're gonna go for the tower though, move even further. They're gonna be going past GK, who's scanning as much as they can, get that intel from Norpad here.
It's a very fast rotation, though, from Guild Esports, isn't it? They're much quicker in this time than the previous couple of rounds. Outside the ring, they're going to feel pretty hard done by when they figure out how this zone has actually pulled away from them. Well, they've pulled away from the zone, really, I guess is the big takeaway. Guild have been able to leapfrog them, gotten into that donut, which caused so many shenanigans in the previous game.
GK2, they've died so many times here on the outskirts in the past few matchups. Raki here, really trying to embrace the fuse role for this roster. That adjustment coming into last week. A few changes with Pana on who's going to play what. But GK have struggled to find impact into the lobby. Only 2 points for the team that used to be Boogie Borders, and that's been the case for them for so much of the past few weeks. An awful start in the first 2-3 games, and an incredible effort to rally to get placements within series points in the last few. I do wonder if they can do it, given that we've changed the rotation and World's Edge becomes next year after this Storm Point map.
Potentially. It's going to be a super late rotate in from Legends. They're still up at the wall. Got away with some cheeky shenanigans. Back end of last map. Good damage. 118 Evo required for Fenfu. Those triple take shots going a long way in assisting with that one.
Again, so popular. Sniper rifles especially when you have these more northern rings. Fenfu and the rest have been willing to embrace the longer scope. And here we go. Outside on one side, BearClaw on the other. Seems like Weibo all good to go now. MDY though, our lobby leader so far. And it's so interesting really, the story of MDY. Now, they used to be MDY Black here, Elfish. And then they realize, hey guys, we're the only MDY left. We can take the name now. And that they did,
Yeah.
but it's such a big shift too with Augenstern really on the Bangalore. It's a lot more proactive here from MDY and a lot more aggressive compared to before.
It's crazy from MDY because it hasn't exactly been like any out of this world gameplay so far for game 1 and 2. But consistency getting the job done. Mkers again on the rotate in on a Trident. But are definitely on Guild Esports at the moment. They failed in game 1, they failed in game 2. They failed in the 6 games of Lobby 1 of the day. So this is kind of just what we've come to expect now. And another early engagement that they're going to get themselves stuck into. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that.
That's why they're going to back away, and it's so hesitant here for Guild. Usually there's confidence from Legacy, Bugi, as well as Jesco, but today it just isn't clicking, and even the initiates hasn't really come up to stuff. So Guild, he will go back to where they started, outside on the opposite end, looking at them. And interesting enough, an evac tower being set by outside, so they do want to re-rotate back. Speaking of rotations though, Legends Gaming have made their way into checkpoint, and Weibo is the one still there.
Yeah, this could be a pretty spicy fight. Yeah, underneath them. What am I looking
Jackie
at?
Chan's still on whites. They don't have console information yet because he hasn't gotten the blue Evo. And Legends might surprise Weibo if they decide to head on up here.
I wonder if Legends are going to do that or if they're just going to rotate down underneath them to the north side.
They pinged them.
They did. They're definitely having a bit of a look. They're thinking about it. Thinking above. But it's a hard thing to contest the high ground. Looks like they're going to take the stairs if anything, but maybe electing otherwise. Zone shift continues to head in the direction of down beast. There's no surprise about that. It's one of the I would say the most common zones I think actually we see in the game just in general. So very readable.
Very much so. Once you see half of the ring within the cliff, you know where it's gonna head. But it's just crazy that then 3 north zones today, and they're all within the same sphere of one another. Final dream though, finally see a bit of barometer for today, and the last time we're gonna see it for the rest of today. Legends though, on the other hand, have decided to play away from Weibo, look to get into better position, and they're the ones in the chokehold here between Down Beast and Checkpoint to see if NoCredit, MXF, or Weibo will head their way here.
Patience of virtue right now for Legends Gaming. Stuck sort of between a rock and a hard place, right? You don't really want to go too much further forward in toward Down Beast because there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to have an angle on you, but similarly, if you wait too long, it's going to be teams rotating out of Checkpoint that are going to cause the problems for you. You set up a few electric fences, but it's not going to slow anyone down too substantially. Over by the mill. DreamFire back over there. It's comfort territory for them.
That spot's calling to us.
APG. Also nearby, DreamFire here looking for the fight, but we go to Vegas Inferno instead. Inside the down beast, the ready downed 2 members. Geekay have found some targets, but by Euler actually catching out Raki. More difficult now for Pana to stay on alive. Nade's getting lobbed too. It seems like a flow has found Killapause there. And Vegas Inferno and Geekay Esports, some signings here, struggling to stay alive against the threat that is Fruit Salad. The scan comes online by Euler, and the rest are on the hunt. And the final remaining member of GK, ready, set, perhaps to die. They lose him though. Eventually Pan is found, as well as Raki, and that is it. GK gone again.
Yeah. Hands of Fruit Salad, no less. Well, Fruit Salad on the backside of Down Beast are going to have a little bit more work to do. Yes, they get some points off the board, on the board off of that, but there's so many teams floating around here that now it's difficult to get yourself into a strong position for the end game without at least having to fight for it. And oh, just absolutely demolished. That might have been a 3-2-1 going on there.
Absolutely. The fight is non-existent for Fruit Salad right now. The elevation, that height, making it so difficult for them to pivot from. And they have to use the Mother Load just to provide a bit of cover. But Amelia's and the rest of outside angling the area. Fruit Salad is at HKUF. Also watching from above. And if you hang in the rest aside to push this, it's their chance to pick up some KP here, to ping it. But they're unable to actually close the distance. Fruit Salad instead. The duo have made their way back inside the down piece here.
I like the position again for HKUF. They had a strong spot for the end game of game number 2.
Game number 1.
Was it game 1? Man, time flies.
Yeah. I mean, if it's all the same zone, it's all the same game.
LGD just landing on top of them on top of that donut, and you know, if HKUF get themselves in another good spot here, right? Like you're doing everything right. You can't really control what someone else is going to do all the time, but you can control getting yourself into a good position. And you know, not every time are you going to be able to convert on that, but sometimes you will, and that's what matters. Fruit Salad, in the meanwhile, we talked about them having a bit of a tough game going forward, and turns out it was very tough because they don't have a game going forward anymore.
Yeah, well, see you in World's Edge, man. And I just do want to echo some of your thoughts about HKUF. Oh, come on, let me see that shot. NoCredit was zoomed in there. But the ring has pulled away from the down piece within the areas of VK and Legends Gaming, actually. Just to echo what I was saying a while ago, HKUF, a team with a few roster swaps within the past few weeks. Notably, very good at making those decisions, but the fights have been left to be desired. Kill Devil, though, they have their own kind of fight right now. This is one door that will try to open. KD playing utter gatekeeper here versus WarMonster FireBird. Luhan already setting up the fences, and who's gonna go for the push? Levy quite low already, needs to get back into cover. Can't force the issue though. WarMonster FireBird tempted to head in there, but with the pylon and the fences, Azu and the rest find an angle instead. They're cracking the shields, but the pylon doing work. Eventually KZ finding Luhan. A chance here for WarMonster FireBird with the advantage. Azu and the rest with the push now. Eventually they're just shoving away Kill Devil. One left standing in a 2v1. Kill Devil has been exercised here.
Yeah, very clean from WarMonster FireBird. Azu's got to get a lot of the credit, got the clean shot through, or it really opened up and eventually opened the door for the team to push their way in as well. Outside the ring, now in an engagement through that smoke, you can see the damage being done. But not enough to keep the opponents at bay. And it is Amelia who will eventually depart from the round for the moment. There might be a res on offer. That'll be a question that we get the answer to later on in the piece. And if things continue to go this way, Nolsung getting knocked, perhaps not going to happen for outside the ring. They might still stay on the 0 points for the day so far.
There's been struggles here for outside the ring, especially when it could have been fortunate for them. MDY, such a tough cookie to fight. DreamFire also taking the fight now. KPG on the opposite end, and Tree Cleaner and the rest have found an angle versus DreamFire. It's LGD though in action here too. They're playing the third party. Good angle versus Keep Going Gaming. Elsewhere now, Final Dream versus Mkers. It's all about the side of the ring right now. Everyone transiting from the mill have found one another, and it's LGD looking for that third party, but they're fighting both squads at the same time. KPG now gonna get eliminated. DreamFire still gonna be around too. Mingyue getting the crack going, but it's LGD who falls. 3MZ standing tall, and a chance for DreamFire to reset here.
Yeah, it's getting messy now. There's going to be fights towards the southern side of the zone. WarMonster FireBird here as well, in toward Countdown. So out toward the east, out toward the south. That's where it's going to get busy. Still waiting to see Legends kind of get involved in this checkpoint engagement. We've also got Weibo Gaming on the other side of it, but Final Dream in the meanwhile are getting dealt with by MXF. That was the fight down south that I was referring to.
Yeah.
Didn't really end up being much. It was kind of stand and deliver from MXF, and the shooting gallery was more than enough.
Final Dream was so busy with Mkers too, and they did eliminate Mkers, preventing them from racking up some good points coming into this game. But this is just where everything gets so chaotic, right? You're mentioning Legends Gaming, watching out for WFFB as well as Weibo. The ring yet again pulling closer and closer to the head of the down piece, just right under it effectively. This means VK Gaming, they're gonna have to move. Vegas Inferno, MDY. It's gonna be so interesting about how the drop for teams like HKUF will be if they land in front, theoretically, of a squad like MDY who's playing inside the Beast itself.
Yep, it's definitely a question. My biggest concern right now is how this fight between those teams out towards checkpoint go. Because that's like the quieter side of the zone. Like, it's going to be crazy, it's going to be chaos at Down Beast, there's no doubt about that, but if you get through that engagement over on Down Beast, there's a chance you're probably going to be pretty wounded. On the other side of the coin, checkpoint side, not as busy. You can see Weibo there.
Oh,
going to take the aerial route instead. Where do you land now, though? This is a hard question to answer.
They risk it. Oh, the cannon's the problem. There's just not much cover. They instead go around Legends Gaming. The blue armor and whatever loot they had from checkpoint. It is risky. But of course, Weibo willing to dare do so. Slav, you see the Rolling Thunder too. Beacon and the rest trying to find cover here towards the rocks. And Player K actually in danger. Not the safest spot here for Legends. Same can be said for Weibo. The elevation, good damage. MXF gonna get eliminated though by DreamFire too. But Weibo want the fight. Legends, Kraber shot from Azu. WarMonster, FireBird also with a pitch into the fight. Still a big battle between two contenders. Weibo on one side, Legends on the other. Pika, the only one still standing. Shark has found some more stellar shots. Legends Gaming gonna get eliminated. Will Weibo be next?
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Peacock is going to be the last one standing, and on that cliff, it really feels like he'll be, a nice bright little target for pretty much everyone involved, although WarMonster, FireBird are on the receiving end of the shots coming through from the Down Beast. MDY go out. Coda's killed. This is becoming an absolute mess, which is what was expected. Down Beast, when you have that many teams having to push their way out, it's going to be an absolute cooker of a situation. DK Gaming still alive.
Man, smoke the pylon doesn't work out, but in any case, BearClaw Gaming, they got the knock onto WarMonster FireBird, and that's the go signal for them to get out there. Problem is, though, right behind, Weibo and BK taking some good pot shots, and interesting enough, Weibo, they still have a chance here with Picard 2 already down yet again. Fanfuzo of BearClaw, busy shooting his teammate. Beyond that, they are ready now to push even further. Quick little smoke, BearClaw, making it a top 3 situation, but while this happens, Elfish, DreamFire sitting pretty after winning all the fights from the south.
Yeah, I mean, it's another opportunity for DreamFire. They just keep putting themselves in winning positions today. This one definitely looking like a lock-in for them. VK Gaming could make a run in, though, has to be said. Not really sure that I'm going to be backing BearClaw Gaming. It seems like they're between a rock and a hard place. And that crossfire between DreamFire and VK should be too much to deal with.
Absolutely greedy, right? Jumping into WarMonster FireBird like that. There's still a pylon to work with. BK also not the best armor here right now, especially with their Watson. Pylon breaks, QQ moves, and BK Gaming perhaps running into DreamFire here. Heck, actually get down though here by No Name. DreamFire putting themselves in such a perfect position to look to get the dub. Smoke's the only cover here for BearClaw right now, but they're left to 2, and DreamFire commanding the presence of many coming into this one.
Slow and steady wins the race as far as DreamFire is concerned. They want to see their two opponents fighting, but in fact, maybe spoken too soon. They want to get on top. They want to get as many points as they can. Pete already getting a knock onto QQ of VK Gaming, and it's just surely nothing here for VK. Look at the struggle that they've got themselves into. It's fish in a barrel for DreamFire to finish off this game, and down to the one last member. DreamFire will make it look easy. It was, I think, a very foregone conclusion. DreamFire happy with that.
Hook, line, and sinker. DreamFire will take it. At one scan, told them everything they needed. They knew that game was theirs.
What an exceptional game. I think that is finally the win. DreamFire, you know, were really itching to get to make their mark in this competition. Elfish, I want to have a little conversation about Weibo. They were flying. They flew over from checkpoint, and then they caused such chaos for Legends Gaming. You know, they were in such an open position. WarMonster FireBird was there rotating out of checkpoint. But, you know, Weibo were, I think, able to get 4th place over WarMonster FireBird, which had most of their team up as BearClaw came to take them out. They just absolutely did such a good job to get out of the position that they were in.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting choice from Weibo. I think there was a couple of schools of thought. Like, obviously, they can go through, take the fight, but it's always going to be like a bit of a 50-50 when you're coming out of checkpoint and you're pushing in toward down beast. There's every possibility that there's going to be third parties coming through from the down beast. So not only are you having to deal with the team in front of you, you're just having to deal with hot shots from across the ways. So instead of that, they prefer to take the aerial route, try to wrap in behind, and that in itself kind of comes with a lot of concerns, right? There's always going to be people shooting at you when you're flying through the air, and you know, you oftentimes don't expect to receive a knock or something like that, but you certainly will be chipped on your way through. And for Weibo, they go for might have been the percentage play. I feel like it's a bit more of a percentage play to take the aerial route rather than try and take the fight. But end of the day, neither was really like a winning play necessarily. Like there's no right choice for Weibo. They've just got to work hard to do as much as they can, and they obviously, you know, place quite highly. They're happy with that. I think overall, bad situation gets turned into something not too bad, right? You get given lemonade. What's the word? You don't get given lemons, you make lemonade. I mean, maybe you get given lemonade sometimes as well. That might not be too bad,
lemonade.
But yeah, off you go. So Weibo top 4. I don't think they'll be mad about that.
No, I think, you know, all odds were against them and they did what they could with what they had. But let's talk about DreamFire. They started out this split just in the trenches and they managed to come out with a win today. 11 kills along the way. They are playing so well going into the first 6 matches we had today and then another 6 matches. They are on a roll and it's so good to see this coming out of their team. I think, Elfish, you brought the good juju for them because, you know, until you joined us, they weren't doing so well. So I reckon you've got the DreamFire pep in your step, and that's so good to see them on top with 39 points, but tied with MDY.
Yeah, good though to see as well VK Gaming being able to do what they were not able to do in the first lobby they played today, right? They started both lobbies with a win, but lobby 1 from today, VK kind of just disappeared after that. Here though, managing to keep that scoreboard ticking over. They're only 4 points behind DreamFire and MDY, so very much have kept themselves in that discussion, and interested to see what they can do going forward, but it does seem like a pretty solid day today for VK.
Yeah, and WarMonster FireBird as well. They are coming to play today and just showing exactly how far they have come with their team composition going into these games. You know, being just above Legends Gaming is just a great feat for them. You know, they're definitely on a roll today. But, you know, we still have another 3 games for them to be able to, you know, do a little something. You know, we've seen it last week from Legends Gaming where they, you know, they were looking like it was going to be difficult, and then the last couple of matches, they just absolutely took out the win. And now, speaking of Legends Gaming, I want to give a nice little shout out to our wonderful watch parties, you know, cheering us on here for APAC-South. We obviously saw it in the previous game. We have hopefully a nice little clip to show you, you know, about all of these watch parties that have been cheering on this region. But let's head over to a break and we will see you back shortly.
An insane push.
Yeah, MDY down out of the picture pretty early on in the piece. The final 3 killed.
Oh, but that Bangalore catches him out. It gets knocked. Oh my god, it's non-stop.
Oh my
The
god.
movement.
Oh,
but he cleans him up.
The end of one.
Oh my god, what was that? What was that?
What was it?
What?
Play a case like sup. I'm on the.
Zero is going to be your champions of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Welcome back, everyone, where the passion is real here in APAC-South. Not just from us, not from the players, but all the beautiful people watching here today. You just witnessed DreamFire finally get a win. It is so good to see them at the top. They did an excellent job in our first 6 matches, then to get the win coming into our next lot of matches, Elfish. We're going to flip the script. We're going to head over to World's Edge and see a lot of different teams, I guess, maybe rise up from the trenches. So let's take a look at our POI draft and see exactly where all our teams will be landing.
Yeah, indeed. Let's obviously keep a bit of an eye on teams like DreamFire, who seem to really be making a run through things today. They'll be out toward Overlook here for the second map of this lobby. I'm also kind of eager to see what LGD is going to be able to do. I think they're a team that's kind of been bubbling away under the surface. It hasn't really come together too much here in this second lobby, but maybe for them a change in map is going to be a change in fortunes as well. Climatizer East, not sure that's really going to help Guild out too much. They've been having a rough day. It's not a particularly highly sought after drop location, so could be a rough one to continue things forward here on World's Edge.
Yeah, you know what we love about this draft system is we've got Geekay Esports, previously known as Boogie Borders. They're taking a spot where Legends Gaming would traditionally go, and vice versa. Legends Gaming over on a Mirage Etoile, that it was such a Boogie Borders Geekay Esports, landing spot. They would always choose that. But to see, I guess, these changes is absolutely incredible. It makes, I guess, these players just really have to think about their rotations. We always get like Overlook, I guess, ring pull, so Legends Gaming might have quite a bit of a distance to go, which could then open things up for DreamFire. But I don't know what you think, Elfish. We've had a fair few Skyhawk pulls, so it could be over the side. That's generally what we see going into World's Edge.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least in the previous lobby, we got quite a lot up towards Skyhook. That's for sure. Something we'll keep an eye on. But, I mean, right now, DreamFire doing very well for themselves. MDY right up there, and VK Gaming kind of kicking around. But honestly, like, even WarMonster, FireBird, who I feel like have kind of been flying under the radar a little bit so far for those first 3 maps. Keep an eye on them. They'll definitely be in the ring, in the mix as well. So, still plenty to play for. And I guess, Weibo, they've fallen off a little bit. It's definitely not been quite as clean from them here in the second lobby of the day. Maybe that fatigue starting to shine through. But as we've seen, they can just pull off, a 30-point game, for example. And that would get them right back into the top of the pack. So let's not count them out just yet, because they were able to do a bit of work on World's Edge in that first lobby as well.
Yeah, it's just, a lot of people don't think about that, and going into their 8th game, it's going to be a little bit difficult. It's something that a lot of people don't think about. Having to play these 6 to 12 matches. Sometimes it can be a good momentum, as we say, for a lot of teams, and then sometimes it sets in. It's a little bit, I guess, difficult in that sense. But I think we're going to have ourselves a quick little short break, just because we've got a little bit of a reset happening. Everything works here, we promise you. So don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a short break, and we'll see you in a moment.
Max level without Locked and loaded. Drop shocked and rocked. Say hello to the 4-0 first.
For Arbiter.
Get ready for a world of hurt. Kill confirmed. Gonna add you to the list.
Cool. Welcome back, everybody. And it's good to have all three of us on the desk again as we go through all this passion that APAC-South has to offer for us today. You know, Dax, we've seen some exceptional games going in. And, you know, obviously we just had a look at the POI drafts and exactly where all our teams will be landing. I'd love to get your sort of thoughts on what teams you feel like have a really strong position.
I think it's wild. Honestly, I was looking at this a few times, blinking my eyes and saying, who's where? What? What's going on? And I think really some of the most notable ones here, I'm looking at Legends all the way at Mirage Trois. You have Geekay there taking stacks, as well as MXF taking Fisher, which means Mkers now has to go big mod. Landslide and Guys are taken, so the two other options for Legends Gaming not gonna be available. Weibo at 3. Like, what are these wild POIs because of the draft? I think really the most stable spots that I see here for the teams that are comfy at it, Lace, LGD, at least they get Monument. DreamFire, they're gonna get Overlook, so that's a few teams to watch out for that they have at least familiar paths to work with.
Yeah, and another team that I want to keep an eye at, you know, this is a team that's not shy to composition. You know, they've been on the main stage at LAN before. It's none other than Mkers. You know, they were previously known as HungKuang. This is a dynamic trio from Thailand. You know, their mechanical skill is exemplary, like demonstrating precise aim and, you know, fluid movement mechanics. They excel in high-pressure situations. A little bit struggling today going into some games, but, you know, they're consistently being in the top stats for damage and kill points. You know, I think they're currently sitting second in the series leaderboard, and that's underneath Legends gamers. So Dexter, Ziki, and Asia's, you know, their standout traits is their game sense and decision-making ability. They actually really possess like a deep understanding of map dynamics, positioning, and timing. You know, they often have to make split-second decisions that give their team like a strategic advantage, whether, you know, it's choosing when to engage or disengage. Mkers' decisions are calculated, well executed. You know, they're having this sort of fight with Kill Devil and being able to clutch those 1v1 situations. You know, the pressure is always on for this team, but they just kind of keep cool, calm, and collected. You know, they're a very aggressive team that utilize, you know, each meta they're sort of handed with, but, you know, they have improved at making it to final zones, you know, knowing to focus on that in the rotate. You know, they used to be so kill hungry that I guess they sort of not forget, but they struggle to make those rotates. So I'm really hoping, Elfish, that if they can keep the composure, you know, that they had in the last couple of, you know, the last week's matches, no doubt, I think they can make another LAN appearance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got faith in them, right? They've been a competitive team for probably longer than anyone else that is even still competing in APAC South, right? They go all the way back to when Reignite was around. Obviously, there's been roster changes for this team as well, and we follow the transition of players and stuff like that, but you can trace that lineage all the way back, and I'd say they're, I guess in theory, kind of like the longest lasting team. Maybe DreamFire is kind of in that discussion as well, but a lot of these teams that were towards the top end of things are not necessarily around anymore, either because they've moved overseas or because they've split apart or whatever. But generally speaking, this team, you know, they've been kicking around the players themselves, definitely. So no reason to imagine that they're not going to remain competitive going through into, you know, yet another split.
Yeah, they've been a trio for quite a long time too. So, you know, their cohesion as a team is just exceptional. And the funny thing, they also like to have fun. When we get to have like the listen-ins with them, it's just absolute, you know, fun and chaos going through their communication. But I think it was 2021, Dax, where I think they actually had a second place at LAN.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say about Mkers especially right now is I'm looking more forward to how they're going to do good coming into perhaps LAN if they do make it. But I think we're playing out the upcoming game here, so let's see how this is all gonna pan out. This is game number 4, guys. World's Edge is the place to be. And unfortunately, it looks like DreamFire only gonna be a duo right now. Most of these teams moving on in already. As you can see that this ring, very familiar, right outside the Overlook. A shift perhaps into the Gotown. We've seen multiple rings here, Elfish. Right outside, Fragment happened within APAC-South.
And this is exactly what Lace was saying during that pre-match segment, saying, you know, we do get a lot of Overlook circles, and there's another Overlook pull. Funnily enough, as you've sort of touched on there, DreamFire are going to be just a duo for this game. There was a bit of confusion around that, but looks like we're going to go ahead and play it out. And for Legends, well, as Lace was touching on, a long rotate for them to make if this ends up being an Overlook circle. So they're going to be on the move pretty early on in the piece. Now, they don't actually have the information that this is going to pull out toward Overlook, but they'll be making an educated guess, and they've already decided to start backfilling into Landslide, which is where Fruit Salad are going to have to get evicted from.
And it's most likely their rotation path for any Eastern Circle. They've been so familiar with the Landslide rotate ever since they were during the days of Black Hand. And you gotta understand why they picked Lava Fisher based on that proximity. But they do have to run into Fruit Salad for a strafing flame. It's a little bit of danger here. Uses the smoke to get back into cover. You also see Easy Flash yet again taking point and moving forward. Fruit Salad refused to continue the fight. And Legends Gaming will be able to reposition and reset themselves on Landslide itself.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely you're conceding some territory here as Fruit Salad. Like, there's no reason to be fighting over Landslide. They got their time to pretty much run through and loot it all up. They don't need to be sticking around there at all. They should be getting on their rotate as well and making space. Play that leapfrog game, allowing Legends to jump into their position. And then they move into the teams that are moving away from Fragment's positions. So, fair enough, that's just how it goes. Usually a bit of a traffic jam. But everyone walks away pretty unscathed. In the meanwhile, though, it is getting busy over toward Overlook already. It's a fast rotate out of a lot of teams.
Yeah, and especially LGD, they're going to want to take point in that. They realized DreamFire was a duo. They effectively bullied DreamFire away from their POI, but BearClaw, on the other hand, they are monsters on World's Edge. Most of their points as a whole have come from this map, and some incredible calls from the likes of Heck Fenfu and Limo to put themselves in a good position in many of these rings. They're just so good at reading the rings coming into World's Edge, and that's one of the strengths BCG has coming into the second half of the lobby here.
Fruit Salad. Bit of a back and forth kind of a day for them. They've had some pretty good moments, but those have been marred by some quite early exits as well, and inconsistency is showing. 13th place at the moment for the lobby after the first 3 games, 12 points only. Not a great day for them, and it's been a horrible day for Guild Esports. I just kind of got to question what has gone wrong for Guild. You know, they had some really consistent games over the last few weeks, and then, you know, okay, one lobby goes poorly, you know, maybe you can say, okay, they started slow, they didn't get it together, but you'd think normally after a bit of a break, they come back, they finish stronger, and that hasn't happened either. It's now been 9 games of pain for Guild, and doesn't seem to be changing tonight. I think it's just going to end the way it began.
Look, if I was superstitious, I would put it on you, because you highlighted them a while ago in the scouting report and blessed DreamFire instead. But truthfully, I agree with you. It's just, they're just not finding the form that they're accustomed to. I don't know if I'm accurate about this, but we listened into them for a while in the series prior, and it did feel like it's a little bit more defeated in the way. Yes, it's still calm. You expect that from a squad formerly known as Serenity, but it was a struggle for them multiple times. Even more struggles. Look at Geekay. First one gone. VK Gaming continuing their run and eliminating the first squad here.
Yeah, good spot to set up in as well for VK Gaming, right? Fairly central inside of the zone. Generally a pretty safe position to hold on to as well. Could be another strong game from VK, who are inside the top 3 this time around. They're having much more consistent run in the second lobby than they did in the first. But a couple of wins on the board from them today. It's not been a shabby day at the office. On the other hand, Weibo, well, you can say a lot of positives about this team, but maybe not for the latter half of the night so far. It hasn't been awful, but it's definitely not been up to those same high highs.
It's like a roller coaster when you support Weibo. We're getting the highest of highs so far, but some of the lowest of lows. And Weibo need to find their form, that consistency that was able to bring them that win last split. But out of the ring over at Epicenter, it will be RXM into the front line. A new addition here to outside the ring right now. Amelia's in the resto. Look for any kind of opportunity. We have an evac tower available. Can easily lob the Motherlord towards it and get the intel, but it's Legends Gaming already fighting within this spear. Strafing Flame up close. Noel sang the first of all. 99 on that shot. The choke's in, and it will just be asphyxiating towards outside. Choked them out, killed them all. Strafing Flame has found 2.
Yeah, Peacekeeper doing a lot of work, but WarMonster FireBird jumping their way through. Let's listen in how this fight played.
Cracked one.
I need
Net again, careful. Cracked another. 40.
Sending.
Have to heal.
What's 100?
We have to heal. So.
Yeah.
We're good, we're good. Relax. That's another team. We're good. Relax.
Popping silence.
I'm popping ulti so.
It's a full team. It's a other full team.
Just chill. We're fine. You can rest me, player. My res. You have to fight them. I'm gonna die here. They're not fighting each other. It's just one team left.
50.
It's 2v3 somehow.
Rest.
I dropped my arm for flame, alright?
No, don't!
Okay.
I'm selling.
15 seconds.
I'm gonna climb. I'm good.
Yeah.
They haven't rinsed yet. I'm dropping medkit.
Safe scan. We're gonna see you on res.
3 seconds. I didn't see them though. I didn't see them.
Nothing in the box.
I'm good.
They're gonna take the...
You need to scan northwest, Mark.
Yeah,
Scan
look at
northwest.
this.
I can't see it.
Cannot see it also. It's a duo.
I have his right run up here.
They run high.
Oh, he ran left.
Yeah, he ran left.
Yeah.
There's someone else on that. We have to leave. I think.
We got access.
I got a thirst.
Is there someone on the height here? I think we just leave.
Yeah, come.
Okay.
Oh,
Go, careful on the right height.
You heard the voice, just chill, but also authority when need be. Legends Gaming there, Elfish, keeping calm under pressure from KPG, and they're gonna get out of there safely.
Yeah, you're right about that. There was a lot of pressure, but they bunkered down and they weathered the storm really nicely. So, able to survive. Epicenter no longer quite the hotspot that it was. It's still quite a rotation to make for Legends, and they are going to be coming in pretty late to ward Overlook, so they won't be getting any of the premium positions, but the fact that they managed to get through that is already a positive note.
It's just great to hear Legends Gaming that they actually listen so well to Strafing Flame and his calls. He knows exactly what needs to be done. There's a reason why Legends is as great as they are. KPG though did get the res going. They're back to a 3-0. WarMonster FireBird also going to be nearby as a rat, the team that Legends did bully. But Guild, again, spotlights on them. We've seen them succeed actually from this position outside the camp here. They know how to play from the north, but Peak God, here we go. It's his final dream, saying goodnight early on here in World's Edge.
Yeah, that turns into a bit of a nightmare for them. They didn't even really get the chance to fight at all. Peak God, as usual, causing quite a ruckus. Make things short work of them, I guess, at the end of the day is kind of where we're going to go with that one. And Weibo, there's no one around to really harass them all that much. Legend was close by, but more interested in making their own rotation in, and honestly, fair enough at this point. They were harassed on their way through, as you know, too much already as it is, so they had to get a bit of a wriggle on, and they did, and they've ended up actually not in a bad spot. The train car on the tracks can be a little bit difficult to lock down, but it's better than nothing.
They have the Watson anyways, so like other squads who have tried to play train car and they're running a fuse, they just get peppered by nades. This is going to be good for Legends Gaming, but MDY, sharp shots truly today. And Fruit Salad will lose one because of it. Another one bites the dust. XX making sure that just crosses on the eyes of Fruit Salad right now. I do want to point out though, I said a while ago, Guild was good in their position, even better with how the rings pulled. It's somewhere familiar as Fruit Salad, eliminated here by MDY, overrun.
That was a long time coming, I feel, for Fruit Salad. They've been struggling a little bit today. BearClaw Gaming out on the western flank. It wasn't really for them to deal with here in Fragment. Although lots of util headed in their direction. Wonton, not Wonton Dumpling, Weibo. I get baited.
Don't worry, it starts with a
Jackie
W.
Chan still holding on it.
Yo, first day I saw Weibo's like, where's my dumpling? Where are my food names? What's going on?
I mean, he's still got WTD in the name, which is the biggest problem for me. So I just see that on the map. I'm like, oh, Wonton Dumpling.
He has WTD and WBG. So you gotta choose one, Jackie Chan. Come on.
It happens. But either way, moving on with a little bit of harassment. Keep going gaming to the north side. It's pretty chill up there actually at the moment. But south side, it cannot be said to be the same. Legends Gaming will hold themselves up inside the caravan. They moved on from the train cart. But once we get a bit of a look at what's going to happen on the south, that's where it's really going to get busy. You've got 4 or 5 teams trying to work their way up into the zone, and probably 3 or 4 providing a blockade. Guild Esports, they need a big game here.
Eliminated there by Weibo. Vegas Inferno might be next afloat, desperately trying to survive, begging his teammates to keep him alive with the shields, but to no avail. Rolling Thunder from HKUF, that's goodbye already. MDY next on the list, and HKUF performing well so far. They still stabilize on the south side, and MXF angling at them, but HKUF have the caravan, and they're good to go for the rest of this run.
Funny, I've just been watching Legends going back and forth on the minimap. They went from the train cart to the caravan. Now they've gone back from the caravan to the train cart. So, ended up where they began.
Pick one.
Choose one. And I think they won't be moving too much more now. Zone's shrunk enough that they should have a pretty good understanding of where things are going to end up now. Mkers are one of the lucky teams to get through the shenanigans on the southern side of the zone. Pretty unscathed so far. We've been keeping an eye on BK Gaming. They're actually into first place overall for the lobby now, up to 43 points. Plugging away nicely.
I mean, not surprised. DreamFire still, the duo doing well to play into the zone, but you can already see difficulty for them. Zikido, on the other hand, finding a first player of Kill Devil. Next will be Luhan and Mkers, of course. We saw Lace talk about them, how much of a well-balanced carry team they can be. You said the legacy of Mkers, no matter what banner, they go back to the TYK stable. Bolin, the only one still standing. The smokes now to try and get out of danger. Mkers desperately looking for them. They also go for the evac tower here. But Mkers, they're a duo right now, and they would love to bring Asians back to life. They have to leave them, though, because of that ring, and Dexter can't even get away.
Yeah, that ring causing way too much of a problem. Ziki's going to end up on the tower, which is still not inside of the next zone. It's going to be only a position he can jump forward from. Bolin trying to escape, but there's no getting away from Kill Devil at this point in time.
Mkers went for Kill Devil, and Bolin made Mkers pay the price for it. Ziki left to a solo. Mkers didn't expect that this would be the situation moving forward, and not only that, this tower isn't in the next ring. DreamFire now eliminated. They made it to 10th at least, so a few points for them to work with. NoCredit on the other hand, moving forward. BK Gaming nearby, but within the smoke screen now. Very cheeky, searching away to see anyone here, but BK right below them. The train tracks have been their friend throughout this game.
So far, so good. BK Gaming in a pretty consistent run from them. Mkers do get eliminated in 9th place at the hands of LGD. I am really keeping my eye on the proximity of Legends and Weibo. They're like so close to one another.
And they're the ones in the ring for the next one. Weibo will have one side, Legends is gonna have the other. And for the third position there, it's KPG, but Guild Esports, they unfortunately do not get the ring pull that they would like, and instead they're gonna have to just carve a path of destruction to make their way in. LGD, their first target, inside the caravan. But LGD is such a patient team. Guild, same can be said, and 2 teams who have been built on discipline. Let's see who flinches first.
No credit. Making it nice and slow at the moment. They do have HKUF right underneath them, and those shots reminding them of that fact. There's not a whole lot of room to actually work with here for NoCredit. One false step and either side they're actually getting shot. We're just going to take it slow. LGD rolling up.
LGD's in position. They're the ones who decide to head on out first. Guild will mirror that on the opposite end, but LGD have action in front of them. NoCredit, and they're set up looking pesky. BK as well as HKUF also nearby, but very cheeky, already finding the first. Scan comes on out. Savior also with a chip in there. Guild, when all this happens, just staying away from the fight, but eventually they're creeping up now to look for opportunity. Jesco and the rest, this is their chance. LGD gonna get eliminated here, but the push from Guild will give him opportunity.
This has got to be a big one from Guild, but I just don't see that that's going to happen. This is an absolute mess. It's a cluster of fun, might be a word to use. And how do you get through this without losing players? Well, answer is you don't. Legacy already on the floor. Bugi down to half, below half. Jesco trying to survive, but ultimately Guild will fall as well. Top 4 finish.
Elfish.
Probably the best they can ask for.
My man, look who's remaining. Everyone who tried to make their way to the ring is dead. And Keep Going Gaming was the ones who watched that. We go back to the 3 in position. KPG move on away from the train cars themselves. Legends there. Yet again in the middle of the action. Weibo gonna be nearby, but I do believe let's listen in to Legends Gaming and see how they handle things.
We can't.
We got more net.
Yeah, heaps of ops.
They play high.
Did we just go here? I don't know. I don't think so.
No need.
I think we got fucked. Yeah. They have to
outside.
Okay.
These guys are gonna play above us.
Which guys?
They don't have a bloodhound.
Okay.
I swear.
Yeah,
We can like.
Oh no, they do. They do have hound. They do have hound. We're getting back.
I'm moving. What? Almost cracked. Oh, 1-1.
Blood dead. I'm chilling. But care this. I'm betting.
Yeah.
So. I'm betting all the other team. Just slow. Play safe. Play on me. Play safe. We're fine. Give me triple swing the back here. Just kill them. 1, 2, 3. Swing.
Yeah.
I stunned all of them.
Here's one.
I fight. Swap.
Stopping.
I'm looking for.
They're on left. They're fire. I'm nading that.
I'm nading as well.
Nading.
We're all playing roof.
Behind wall. Just play safe. We win this game.
I'm playing under. I have heaps of nades again.
Playing cover.
Skin.
I'm nading it.
Yeah. I'm gonna swing around here for an angle.
That's done.
Swing.
Let's go.
My fucking god.
Oh my god. Let's go. Let's go, boys.
Fucking perfectly, boys. Oh my god.
Coordination is one thing, Legends is another. You heard it from them. We win this thing, they take the dub, and what a show again from Legends.
Perfectly, boys, indeed. Coming out of the words from, the wonderful Legends Gaming. Their skill is just unmatched, Dax. What cohesion and communication this team has to take that swing. They're right in the center of the action, playing, in the only, building that is available in that space. And then to just take that swing, out and just take out Weibo Gaming and then just decimate the Keep Going Gaming. With that Vivo, nonetheless, Dax, is just exceptional from them.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Legends Gaming. We heard from them twice within the game, and it was always about the calls courtesy of Strafing Flame. The first one, to calm down, keep everyone alive in Epicenter. And the second one, the 1, 2, 3 swing on Weibo allowed them to cascade that victory. So immediately, such a good call to make their way to the train tracks. Yet again, I was pointing out having that Watson so helpful to actually play in those positions when you will just be hampered by nades and nades alone. It's so unfortunate for all the other squads who didn't play the zone there, Lace. Everyone who tried to make their way in, they just died. When the dust settled, it was KPG taking them down, and within that top 3 fights, Legends Gaming in command. Easy flash, Player K just listening to the calls from Striker Flame.
Yeah, that chaos sure did unfold in Zone 5, leaving only Legends Gaming, Keep Going Gaming, and Weibo left alive just to fight it out. But, you know, it's exactly what Legends Gaming say, you know, it's their win. Once they say they win, they've got it locked in, and as you can see, 9 kills and a first place. That is going to absolutely skyrocket them up the leaderboard. But a great game, again, from Weibo with the 8 kills in 3rd place. They are staying in like those top 5 spots, so getting these placement points is huge for them, especially having such a tough start to the split. They're really showcasing their skill today.
Yeah, but look who's monstrous also here, Lace. In 6th place, VK Gaming with 11 kills, and QQ has been instrumental again to keep the success of VK alive. I'm honestly saying that many of the players from that old AGL roster, they're so helpful to the teams that they're in now. MDY having one of them, VK Gaming having one of them, and with that being said, it's still VK on top of Legends here.
Yeah, that huge game from VK Gaming with all those kill points still keeps them in the lead, but coming on close, Legends Gaming and MDY still tied at those 43 points. We obviously still have 2 more games to go, so, you know, we've only just swapped over to World's Edge. Sometimes, you know, we're going to see teams slip a little, but we're seeing the same teams in these top positions. They are just steamrolling the competition. NoCredit, again, I've touched on them today, doing so well this week, really getting to those top spots. You know, they were amongst that, I guess, chaotic move in from Zone 5. So there was only a matter of time until they sort of dipped down. But, you know, it's doing awesome stuff. Savior, you know, leading the pack, staying on that Watson. I guess Saviour's probably super excited having Watson, you know, as a higher pick rate.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. And I really feel like we look at NoCredit, and they're a team, sure, they're a little bit in the middle of the pack, yes, but there's always a team that you have to respect. It's a team that you can't just run into and say, oh, easy 3KP right here. No, they're going to make you work for it. We've seen them set up so well when they get the zone, and Savior and the rest have made sure every single fight is contested, and that's a big reason why they made it within the top 5, one of the final remaining members of that big kerfuffle within that cliffside before they got taken down by Guild as well as KPG. So good showing there. I think really, Lace, the other side of the coin is the struggling teams here. Not only is GK still unable to string the performance that they would like, but Mkers, what happened to them too? It's like that one time that they struggled in a set, it's carrying over now, and even though they're winning some good fights here and there, they're usually poisoned by other squads. In example, that last fight against Kill Devil, they thought they were safe, but Bolin shows on up, takes one more down while Mkers was flying by, and the solo was found by LGD. Those kind of moments are what have caused the collapse of Mkers in this set.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, Mkers are taking good fights, but it seems like they're not really having the awareness about what teams are surrounding them whilst they take these fights, and that's sort of being their downfall. But I guess let's have a look at some stats. We love seeing exactly, you know, how our teams take this meta and control it. You know, Bangalore. Wait, is that the first? Bangalore is, we're usually having Bloodhound at the top there, Dax. But, you know, it's such a very big pick having Bangalore, that covering the smoke. We're seeing more aggression from teams, and Bangalore, Bloodhound, even with the Fuse picks, are really getting these teams these kill points. And then, you know, we're seeing the Watsons obviously come in to keep that defense and keep that momentum going. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying, I guess, the meta this season.
So the only reason why Bloodhound has one less pick than Bangalore is because DreamFire played as a duo a while ago, and they played Bangalore and Watson together. Beyond that, though, I think it's like what we saw during the first time we went into split number 2, Lace. A versus B is the most meta-based matchup. They will play Bang Blood plus the controller of choice. I'm going to add Fuse as a controller in essence, since he has Ringmaster as a perk, right? And with that being said, those 2 picks will never move. But we've seen really APAC-South, they love to play Watson. We know notable players like Player K, like Savior, and so many others have ran that as their main legend, and it's just really showing up today of all days as per usual.
Yeah, well, I guess with the more fuse picks, the more Watsons need to combat that because, you know, the nades come flying and sometimes that can absolutely cost you your placement, your points, because, you know, a lot of these teams have to move into final zone. They've only got so much space to play with, and if you get a bit of fuse action in there, it might be make or break for you. Speaking of break, we're going to take another short break. Don't go anywhere. We will see you back shortly for game number 5.
Alert 5, Valkyrie actual. Ready for burn.
Welcome back, Apex Legends. We just witnessed a passionate win from Legends Gaming, strafing Flame, calling the win before they even secured it with a swift swing to take down Weibo and a devastating Devo push on KPG. It's not enough to take the lead against VK Gaming, who got 11 kills, Dax, but they are moving on up.
Well, Legends Gaming, it's 2 wins already for them. And from how dominant they have been already here, Lace, I wonder if they can continue on. I was really looking to see if Legends can replicate their second half success coming into World's Edge being that second map. But apparently, they were so convincing in that last game. And yet again, everyone's looking at them right now to be the standard.
I know we're still looking for this team to get 3 wins in a match so we can get that bonus series points. And, you know, Legends Gaming could do it with the momentum that they're having. So, you know, we're itching to see if that can happen again. You know, DreamFire could also take another win. You know, VK Gaming might need to do something like that to be able to keep themselves at the top. But again, they had such a big game, and I think it was only 5th or 6th that they placed, but they had 11 kills to sort of back that up. So it's going to be exciting to see, you know, if they can sort of do that now. But let's take it away. We're going to head back to World's Edge for game number 5 and see exactly how this unfolds.
It's getting close here at the top. Legends Gaming rallying yet again. They're in second place right now, right behind VK Gaming, who has showed up also here for today. We are back here, ladies and gents. 2 more games to go in the A and B set. If you guys are tuning on in, this is already the 3rd outing this month between groups A and B. The last time they're going to see each other before we make it to the regional finals themselves. But in any case, I'm Dax here with Elfish one more time. And Legends Gaming, man, I think everyone is convinced to see them at the top of the APAC-South pecking order. For them, though, they want to make it to the top of the leaderboard today, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they've got a very good chance of doing that. That would make 5 out of 6 series played that they would win. Or was it 4 out of 5?
4 out of 5, yeah.
4 out of 5. I get a little bit ahead of myself, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. 4 out of 5 is still a pretty good conversion rate. So, yeah, we'll take that one. Though, they are sitting in second at the moment, so bit of work to do. But, look, in saying that, as you say, it's been a very competitive lobby so far. 49 points for VK, 43-43 for Legends and MDY, respectively. 41 for DreamFire. It's a lot tighter than the first lobby that we got to watch today. So that means we get a bit more of an interesting finish. You know, it's not really a foregone conclusion quite in the same way as where it was like, oh, well, it's either Weibo or DreamFire. Here, it could really be any of those 4 teams. And quite frankly, like Weibo, WarMonster, FireBird, they're not really out of the discussion just yet either on like just above 30 points. If they have a good game right here, then maybe it's a 5-horse race in the last game of the day.
Yeah, gotta agree with you. And honestly, Genome likes to make this point when he's around. If you haven't made it to 50 points, it's still very doable for all the other teams, even in the 10s and 20s. So with that being said, I'm excited to see if someone like Mkers can pop off. WarMonster, FireBird, a lot of hype around them right now with the performance here today, especially from Shark. That 6 shot from Stormpoint still being remembered, still being clipped and shipped by many other people. But WarMonster, FireBird, they're within the top 6. They're moving in now to perhaps where the next ring can be, as we can see with how the pull has been towards the southeast near Big Mod, near Geyser. Considerations for both of those POIs to be part of the endgame here.
Well, don't know if I want to be seeing DreamFire get into an early fight. Geekay Gaming also on the receiving end of quite some spam. Casa has been knocked by Fenfu. There is a trade back, but VK Gaming down to 2 in the penultimate game. Not going to come through very nicely for them if they want to hold on to first place.
Yeah, and no support legend means they can't actually craft that banner if need be. DreamFire have decided to just go for an evac tower. Good to see them as a trio now. Hopefully any issues they had a while ago have been resolved. They are going to be looking to get in position. Thing is though, they're going to have to call towards Geyser rather than outside Big Mod, since WarMonster, FireBird is in that position. And not only that, already No Name getting knocked down there by a prank. It's a duel also for DreamFire, so they're back to square one from what we saw a while ago.
Yeah, a couple of the top teams already being put through their paces. BearClaw Gaming continuing to stick around. And LGD this time are the ones that are copying front of the shot. They should get out okay, although this is where VKG might actually come back in for a little bit of revenge. They're hearing those shots and they're taking a look back in the other direction. LGD down a member, and certainly this will be a problem now for them. They are the meat in the sandwich between a couple of teams. Never a fun place to be.
Yeah. Oh no, Legends Gaming though, they've been hounded here by Final Dream, and Legends is gone in 20th place. The rally for first will end here for now. Final Dream silencing Legends Gaming, and that is very unfortunate for the team still looking for that 4 out of 5 that you mentioned.
Yeah, okay, hang on. Let's just hold our horses for a moment. This could still get exciting.
Think about it. I think VK is down a member. DreamFire is down a member. Some notable teams within the top 5 are crippled right now coming into this game. DreamFire's also gone to the hand of VK. Some more of these top place spots are up for grabs given how the teams are bowing out early on here.
Yes, Inferno. They can lock down this building setup. It's going to give them a nice place to rotate in from. I'm not sure that it's going to be an endgame position, but pretty comfortable where they are at the moment. I can hear a respawn happening as well. That'll be some more points on offer. Those players flying through the air. Easy pickups, you'd think, but won't end up being the case. And LGD are back to 3.
Ooh! What just happened to XX there? That is so sad. Yeah, actually getting the knock along the way. HKUF continuing on. MDY also. The pain train continues for our top spot teams. And with that being said here, Elfish, there is a chance for the teams from 6th onwards to rally in this game from the way it's going so far. VK Sure is still alive. MDY is left to effectively one still standing. HKUF collecting some kills along the way. Augenstern has been confirmed, and while QQ will answer back, it's still VK right now. The ones to watch out for at the top, everyone else rallying for some points here.
Yeah, I mean, HKUF aren't really like in a position where they're going to really challenge for a top spot, but they can definitely still jump up into the top 7 or 8 if they have a good game here. So worth keeping an eye on. Vegas Inferno as well, a team that have been neither here nor there really, I feel, for this lobby so far. They've definitely had good moments, but it's been few and far between. Doors opening a little bit for them though to make a late stage run into things, and they're not in a bad spot in that zone. Let's see where the next pull is going to go. Haven't got that information just yet. That does come through to the northern side, which sort of splits the difference between Geyser and Lava Siphon.
Yep. Budget Siphon, if I remember correctly. A little bit of a compound there outside. But this is what it's talking about. There is that consideration for this ring to pull north, and that will be surprising for both Weibo and Geekay, who have set themselves up for that big mod ring instead. So far, VK Gaming in a good spot. Unfortunately for them though, they're only a duo, and what they can do is find a few picks from afar, keep the placement points going, and look to build on the lead when many of their usual contenders are already crippled or gone from the lobby here.
Take it slow and steady though. You're getting too far ahead of yourselves. Final Dream with a bit of work to do. You have to get past MXF, which is just not going to be an easy task at all. MXF have been really competitive today.
Papa, Beast of the Hunt, sees the target already. And that will be MXF just right under their noses. Papa still through the smoke right now. An angle here to bring the damage, and Artorias doesn't even see that one coming. A good start here for Final Dream. They've been menacing Ultra this round so far. And with this pressure looking to pile on AIO, the only one still standing. Never mind, he has been KO'd instead by Final Dream. They can get aimbot back to life anyway. There's a beacon nearby, and this is looking good for Final Dream here.
Certainly is. I mean, they've got to get that revive, that's for sure, but they're out on a pretty quiet side of the zone, so give them the benefit of the doubt for now. Kill Devil, can't necessarily say the same for them. It's very busy up on that northern side. Kill leaders for this series so far. XX of MDY, 18 kills. It's really been putting in those numbers. QQ in there for VK Gaming. So, there's individuals working hard.
Yep. You know, if you change your name to 2 letters in a row, you will be good at Apex Legends.
What letters would you choose?
I mean, probably like DD, man. Come on. Would you go for like EE or FF or what?
I used to, I think before I had Elfish Guy, I used to go, like, sometimes when I had to make it like a gamer name on a game or whatever, I used to be JJ Man.
Whoa.
So my name's Jordan, so JJ might be the way I'd go with.
Okay, so from this point on, you are the JJ Man. You have exposed yourself, and we'll keep on referring to you as such. I do have to say again, though, more on topic about the kill leaders themselves. Both of these players coming from AGL, and they were always a team to watch out for within APAC-South. Just the disband happening after split number 1, making their own paths in different teams, and it's been so good to see, especially for MDY, such a strong pickup just for today and moving forward. So that adjustment, really, some of these mid-season additions, I have to say, Elfish, have been very helpful for the teams who have decided to go for it.
Always fun. Love to see it. New blood playing in ALGS is always a good sign, right? Like when you get these new players, new teams, then you know that the ecosystem is healthy. Outside the ring, I'm going to try and get a revive going on here, but we'll keep an eye on things happening for Mkers, because that was a very clean beam from Asia onto Amelia, and ends up getting the reward for it as well. It's another kill point in the back pocket. It's not been the day today for Mkers that they would have wanted it to be honest. I mean, 16th overall. This was a lobby that they won the last time they played it. It's just not it. Really, Kill Devil getting absolutely wiped by LGD in the blink of an eye. Be happy with that, to take that position away from Kill Devil and clear out their side of the zone.
Yeah, but Mkers have been in a situation like this before. that they're within the bottom 20 positions, just suddenly monstrous games when they feel that kind of momentum. And that's the reason why they took that win within the set that you mentioned to begin with. I think Lace was really hammering point home, where they were within the bottom 5. Suddenly, one big game, top 6. One more big game, top 1, and held off BearClaw Gaming at the very end. The chance is still there, but the chances for some of these other teams to make their way into the ring becoming even more difficult. Guys are truly being the place to be, and NoCredit is smack dab in the middle of things.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to necessarily be smack dab in the middle of things right here, though, because there's just not that much cover to play with. So ultimately, if you're already one of the teams that's in the center early, kind of means you're going to get sent. There's nowhere else for teams to go. They do just move a little further north. Hedge their bets a little bit. Take their time, that is for sure. Geekay out there by Big Maud, who've been a little bit slow to start today, are going to hope to finish strong. Final Dream still hanging around in Lava Side. Playing it slow. Had some success, but might have to get off the roof now.
Salad right under them. Rolling Thunder connects onto aimbots. And as you said, Geekay, they do need to move away from Big Mud, make their way through the paths into Geyser. So Geekay, 90th place, 4 points. Don't see this too often from Raki and the rest. But as the ring closes on in, Final Dreams to 1 in trouble. Papa and 7ed already low. Heck, actually getting that kill there. HKUF also in the crossfire between multiple squads will send Final Dream packing. Vegas Inferno also backing on away, but that was just so unfortunate for Final Dream there.
They're going to have to continue to push forward here, Fruit Salad. And on the other side of things, it is Weibo who rock up right behind them. Initial shots aren't super clean there from Gugu, but still going to be a problem. To be honest, Weibo can't really be affording to spend too much time focusing on what's happening down on the ground. They're going to have to go sky high because they have a big rotation to make. Smokes down early from Gugu. And he still wants to do a bit of chip damage to Fruit Salad, who are all hiding behind that bin. But honestly, it's a no-win scenario for Weibo, so they'll just get out of dodge, up onto the height. Now they've got almost a FireBird in front of them. Oh my word!
He's gone. Azu tries to fight against Weibo and learns the lesson that he needs to take moving forward. Don't fight Weibo like that. Don't swing into them, because they'll just mow you down so very quickly. Peacock, he was searching for KP a while ago. Now he gets it at the elevated angle. KZ next on the list. What else can Shark do here? Pretty much nothing. Weibo looking for confirmation for even more. WarMonster FireBird. They'll get away with Shark being a rat, but Weibo Gaming stamping their authority on that spot as WarMonster FireBird has been found.
Yeah, they missed out on the dub in the first lobby of the day by, well, really one game. Got beaten to the punch by DreamFire in the last game of the day, and perhaps they might do the same back here in lobby number 2. HKUF, the better Fruit Salad, but now under the pump themselves, and Weibo, again, the team that is causing a problem.
All I've noticed here is if you slide swing, you die. As soon as you get into the field of view of many, you guys get hit by multiple crossfires. And Weibo Gaming learning that lesson. They're still keeping on versus BearClaw. LGD though will be eliminated, but now down to 10 as Vegas Inferno have some cover to work with. But right above, nice crack there, courtesy of YR. Maybe a chance to climb, but Weibo still fighting versus BearClaw here. They got the first knock already. Continue on with Peacock. Peacock destroys them all! And you always go goo goo gaga. Oh, so exceptional by Peacock there.
Weibo into the top 4. They were 5th coming into this game. 43 points right now. Homing in on 49. That was where VK Gaming came into this lobby on. To be fair, VK might be doing a little better than that. MDY eliminated. Yes, VK are doing a lot better than that. They're up to 58.
And
2 players alive only.
That's the thing. They lost Casa so early on. And they've done so well from their position. With MDY eliminated there. it does mean they should stay in first place for a while unless Weibo Gaming have a monstrous game moving forward.
Vegas playing it slow for the moment, trying to keep their heads down underneath this cliff. That's perhaps the way to be. Nice to see Guild Esports still with a trio. I wonder, is there still some magic to happen? Guild Esports, it's just been such a bad day. 2 good games to close it out would leave you with a bit of a sweeter taste in your mouth.
Not only that, the ring is favored here for Weibo Gaming moving forward. Mkers taking NoCredit's position and wiping out that squad. So there are some heavy contenders right now. Weibo is in form. Mkers, they're in form too. Same can be said, honestly, here from the likes of Guild, and it can be any one of these titans right now. These top teams looking to find a win here.
They're just chilling. They're just chilling. They're not doing anything. But they're going to have to move now. Zone will push them out of their small pocket of safety, and that's not a fun situation to be in. Oh, the spray through the smoke is pretty good there. They might actually think about pushing off the back of that. They know that they've done some decent damage. The scan's going to come through. Is it a solo? No, it's a duo. It's not worked out too kindly for them. VK Gaming, they're giving as good as they're getting. In fact, they're probably giving better than they're getting. VK Gaming do get eliminated, but it's only after they take down Vegas Inferno as well.
Yeah,
it was mutually assured destruction.
Do you see that? One nade from Jackie Chan. It just proves to be superior, but Mkers now looking to climb. Guild gonna get eliminated here, but the pylon in the way of Ziki and Dexter Asia's already on the floor. It's getting dicey versus Geekay, and while this happened, looks who's in position. Weibo Gaming are ready to pounce and ready to win. This is easy pickings for Weibo here, and sure, one gets knocked, but Weibo will still take the dub. Weibo Gaming, they needed that one.
Definitely did, but you know, today is not yet done. Obviously, a bit of work still to be had, and I think for me, obviously that really opens the door up a little bit for a few more of these teams now to have a bit of a discussion. We saw, you know, VK, they did pretty well for themselves, definitely, but Legends went a little bit missing. DreamFire went a little bit missing. DY were okay. Weibo's back in the discussion, so heading into this last game of the day, I mean, anyone's guess as to who walks away with the dub.
I'm going to say Weibo's collecting kills like Pokemon. Gugu playing peekaboo on the top there of Mkers being able to take them out, but Mkers doing such an incredible fight there just to stay alive, having to sort of, I guess, climb the cliff and take a little peek just to be able to get a couple of kills. But, you know, having someone just sit there on height and just pepper them with some thermites, there's only a matter of time before you sort of got to go down. But, you know, it's awesome to see that they've finally, like, Mkers have finally turned it a little bit around. I think they might have heard us on the broadcast, Elfish, because they were like, all right, we're sick of being at the bottom, let's rise on up to the top. And, you know, they did an incredible I guess game in that 5th match. It, you know, obviously isn't enough to probably push them far to the top, but at least, you know, they did something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you kind of just got to keep that ball rolling. And man, how about this from Weibo, and in particular from Gugu, just so crisp and so sharp. The tracking as well, like, it's not even just about the initial shots, it's about the tracking. Just look at how clean that is.
This is why Gugu has big damage. This is exactly why. You know, we see Gugu on those high damage stats, Elfish.
Might not be the only big thing he's got, to be quite honest with you. I'm starting to wonder. But Weibo Gaming, man, just so damn strong when they get going. It's not always that they get going, that's the thing, but like when they're on, I feel like they're kind of... Am I wrong in saying this, but are they the scariest team? Like, when they're on, they look really scary.
Well, yeah, if we come out of, like, anything that we saw in split number 1, Elfish, they just I called it the steamroll effect, or a snowball effect. Once they sort of get that momentum, you just can't stop them. It just becomes, like, a bit of a fun game for them just to be able to take down team after team after team. And as we can see, they collected 15 kills and the win, Elfish, and this is exactly what they showed us in split 1. You know, we have been touching on that the start of this split, they've been, you know, hanging around the bottom a little bit, but today's matches have brought them back.
Yeah, most definitely. And you love to see that, right? Because this is a team that it would have been kind of a bit disappointing to maybe not see make it through. And I think the results today have probably done enough to get them to that spot where we can say, well, they're probably pretty safe to at least make it into the final lobby, let alone potentially even be quite competitive in that lobby if things kind of continue in this capacity. A little bit of a better performance from Mkers. I'm happy to see that as well. They kind of needed something. They've been a little bit slow in the overall leaderboard for this series, but up into the top 7 now, 29 points. It does keep them out of the race for first, but Weibo, VK, definitely up there, 61 points apiece. MTY or Legends would need a win. DreamFire would need a win, probably, to be part of that discussion. But, yeah, realistically, 5 teams that could be our eventual winner for the B and C groups.
Yeah, and, you know, Weibo currently, like, they're sitting 18th overall in the series board. So having, you know, a win today is going to, you know, skyrocket them above a fair few teams, like, you know, even Grape Soda, WarMonster, FireBird. It will take them to the top. So they just need to keep this momentum going into the next game. And it could be a great day for Weibo. You know, Legends Gaming still performing incredibly well going throughout that match, but, you know, not getting another win like we've seen them before. We were hoping for a third win, Elfish, so, but, you know, that's fine. We still have one more game to go. Maybe they can do it again. But, yeah, looking at the series standings, you know, Legends Gaming are still out in front, taking their games away for today, sitting in 4th position currently at 43 points. If they can just, I guess, have another amazing game like they have in the past couple of matches, then, you know, they could also go back to the top and win yet another 25 series points. This is what I love about APAC-South, Elfish, is that our leaderboard is always so close, and there's, you know, there's winners, you know, that are a couple of points ahead, but sometimes people just pull their cat out of the bag and absolutely obliterate and take that first place. So we never know going into game number 6. That's the fun.
Let me put that old man hat on again. It didn't used to always be like that. It didn't always used to be like that. We used to have teams that were like, yeah, we're just going to win 3 games in a row. And like, yeah, all right, that's not that interesting anymore. You know, you've kind of already won the day. So I am glad with the way that the region has evolved. You know, we get some much more competitive games, and it's more exciting to watch, definitely, at this point in 2024. So it's been fun to follow that journey.
That's it. It makes you want to stick around for the last match because you don't know who's going to overtake. But let's have ourselves another short little break, and we will see you in a moment for match number 6.
I gotta admit, I may have tricked you. Whew, glad I got that off my chest.
Tell Death I said hello.
I feel Rafa.
Shh. And match number 5 out of the way. Only one more to go, Elfish. But what a huge game from Weibo. Our ultimate steamrollers for today. You know, placing first. Finally, we've been waiting for them to do something. We've just said that they just were amazing in Split 1. They were going toe-to-toe with Legends Gaming. And, you know, the start of the split's been very difficult for them. But here they are. They are back.
Yeah, well, here's where they've got to do it one better than what they did in the first lobby of the day, right? They were pretty much leading that entire lobby, and then come the final game, they let it slip. In fact, it was actually the final 2 games. Like, they finished really poorly. Here it maybe is going in the opposite direction, where Weibo have been a little bit slow throughout this lobby, but they potentially can finish strong. Dub in match 5. Who knows what happens in match 6? match 5 and 6 in that first lobby, it was like out in like 15th and 20th or something like that. And so they got 0 points basically off those last 2 games. And they got overtaken by DreamFire. But now they have an opportunity to make amends for that. If they would take a second for the overall in that first lobby, that's pretty good. But, you know, maybe you missed out on first, you're a bit disappointed. And then finished with the first in this lobby. Yeah, you know, you do make amends for it. So that's kind of the goal here for Weibo Gaming. They look like they're in form enough to be able to do it. So I'm going to back him. I'll say it's Weibo for me.
When you have the shots like Gugu does, Elfish, so you definitely have to back him. You know, we witnessed firsthand, not a single shot is missed. And, you know, to control, you know, the recoil that the Havoc emits and just be able to clean follow someone, especially if they're strafing right in front of your face. It's just an example of the skill that comes from Gugu, which it's just exceptional to see. But here we have Weibo. We've seen their journey throughout today. Obviously, they played 6 matches before this. So they're, you know, running off of fumes probably at this moment. But those fumes, Elfish, are keeping them going.
Yeah, indeed. Look, it was a bit of a slow start, you see there, especially with the 18th place in map 2. But the thing is, like, they're still getting some kill points on the board. They're still getting some placement points in the vast majority of those early games. And ultimately, you know, you eventually do get that one big game that puts it over the line and puts it into first place for Weibo. And yeah, I think the important thing is, like, look, any team can have one really good game. That is certainly for sure. At this level of competition, if things go right for you, you're going to be able to get some points on the board. You're going to be able to convert. You know, everyone's a good enough team to do that. But when things aren't going well, when the zones are shifting away from you and you're having to run through multiple teams and, you know, things are, you know, maybe I don't know, like just life's difficult, let's just say, in the server. The important thing is to be getting those 3 to 5 placement points, those 2 to 3 kills, or, you know, maybe 5 kills a game. And that's what separates, I think, the best teams from the teams that are sort of sitting more often than not down towards the bottom end of the table. You will a lot of the time see those teams that are, you know, like your Legends, like your Weibos. They're very rarely going to have a 0-point game. If ever do you almost see them have a 0-point game. Whereas teams that, you know, are new to ALGS, aren't necessarily used to this kind of level of competition, they're getting 0-point games on multiple occasions throughout the day. And yeah, they'll have their good games, but that's, you know, only one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, you know, and I guess one of those sort of, I guess Geekay Gaming is one of those ones that, you know, we've been itching to sort of get some, I guess, momentum. But yeah, they seem to be getting knocked out, you know, 18th, 19th, each match they sort of go into. And, you know, they were over at LAN. They're struggling this split to find their footing. And, you know, hopefully they can get some kills, but they just seem to be sort of, I guess, losing their fights or at least winning a couple of points, but, you know, not seeing what team is around them at this point in time. So, it's going to be really difficult to tell if they're even going to move anywhere from here. It's a little bit, I guess, of a sad moment for them, but I guess I want to touch on Mkers. They had a really cracking game, I guess, you know, just coming out of that. So they moved up 8 points. But let's touch on Legends Gaming. We've been following them for quite some time. They've won a fair few of their 6 matches. I think it's been about 3 wins so far, Elfish. You know, and that's 25 series points for them. Will they be able to do it again?
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 that they've played so far. This would be 4 out of 5 if they could get it done here as well today. As to whether or not they can get it done again, it's a bold assumption that they'll be able to do that, right? Like, Weibo in pretty good form, VK in pretty good form as well. Those 2 teams you think will be finishing strong, but then again, you know, who can deny that smile? Legends, you'd probably need, like, a 25-plus point game here to really even be in with a chance, and that's also under the assumption that both Weibo and VK would miss out in this last game of the day. So, to be honest, they've kind of maybe given themselves a little bit too much to do, but it's not impossible.
Can I just jog your memory real quick, Elfish? Last week we saw Legends Gaming wait for the respawn just to farm those extra kill points to then push themselves above, I think it was Mkers, to get the win. So, you know, they have 43 points at this moment. They have MDY, VK Gaming, Weibo obviously in front of them. But, you know, we did see that last week. They are an incredibly smart team. So, you know, they could potentially do it going into match number 6. This is what I guess makes it super exciting to see Legends Gaming, you know, with Strafing Flame leading the charge and the communication that he has for his team. I definitely feel like we could see something crazy like that happen again, or at least I'm praying for the entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, obviously it's possible. I would love to see it. It would be a great storyline. It would be a very fun finish, but I am always the realist in these kinds of situations, so I'm going to be the one that's always boring and like, well, you know, mathematically it can happen, but it's like a 1% chance, and you probably would need to see something like, yeah, camping and waiting for the respawns to get extra points on the board to get it done. Speaking of which, lots of damage being dealt there. VK Gaming being helped out by QQ, 7.7k. I think it was 10k today, earlier in that first lobby. From... who was it from? It was from one of the DreamFire players. I hate the world, that's right. 10k, not going to see that one beaten, I dare say. 2.3k out of the last game would be tough to beat if you're QQ and Gugu and No Name in there as well. So, solid stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the first time I've sort of seen QQ up in this damage ranks. You know, we always see, I guess, Gugu leading the charge, or, you know, Easy Flash, Player K, you know, from Legends Gaming. So I guess it's good to see VK Gaming really performing. You know, they're tied, they're neck and neck with Weibo at the moment. So I know we've been, you know, having this conversation about Weibo, but like, just for everyone at home, they are tied 61 points. So, you know, VK Gaming are very much in the running to take over the top going into match number 6. You know, we're obviously going to see if Legends Gaming can pull something out of the bag, but don't forget about MDY as well. Elfish, 40, they're sitting 45th, 45 points, sorry. There could be them as well. It's just always so close for APAC-South.
Yeah, I mean, who else is maybe there? Like DreamFire, you could potentially say. Take a look at the ratting time. This is often not a stat that you really want to be on, but give some shout out to Player K, because the ratting time actually ended up being quite successful, getting that that dub, 6 minutes and 5 seconds, and that actually is, I think, a big reason why Legends are still part of the discussion. If they would lose out on, you know, a couple more points, 4 or 5 more points, they probably are just completely out of the race. But here, at least that extra couple of placement points that Player K was able to get them, you know, that keeps them close enough to maybe be within striking distance.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that these, I guess, spent time ratting is actually some of our top teams. So, you know, MDY, you know, they're third, 45 points at the moment. Legends Gaming, obviously, you know, we saw Player K rat as a solo to the win to take out Kill Devil. So, you know, even though they've lost the team, their passion still holds strong. And just to see these stats, I guess, is really exceptional, because, you know, I, as a player, Elfish, if I'm ratting by myself, I feel the pressure is on, and sometimes you just can't think straight. But then to see someone like Player K just be able to take a win from losing the team is just crazy skill.
Yeah, most definitely. I tell you what, though, I mean, it's not the kind of thing that happens every day, but when you do get it, it makes you feel like a hero.
That's it. So we are just going to take ourselves a short little break. I hope you enjoyed those stats. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're about to have match number 6. Who will take over? It's got to be Weibo. VK Gaming. We'll find out shortly. Welcome back, everyone. We just witnessed Weibo's take out the win in match number 5. They are currently tied with VK Gaming for 61 points. You know, Elfish, we had a discussion about Legends Gaming before the break, and I know you're a stats man and you think it's a 1% chance that, you know, Legends Gaming can take the win. I'm going to be an optimist and say I believe that they can because I've seen it before. Dax, what do you think?
Sure.
Which team are you on?
Whoever wins. Honestly, I'm just really excited to get game number 6 going.
I'm on team start the game.
He's so excited to see who is gonna jump, and I think really the question right now has to be who can still keep the performance going. I think I do want to point out, guys, though, that today has been a very good game for our Chinese teams actually in both of the sets. It's been so consistent for Weibo, for DreamFire, for VK actually finding even more form right now. MDY also looking like a powerhouse. And it's so interesting to see because we were discussing coming into the day that does Legends Gaming run away with APAC-South? Yes, the score in terms of the stats, in terms of the standings, they are saying yes. But if we see Weibo and the rest bridge that gap, the finals for the region, it can get even more exciting if one of these other teams can usurp Legends Gaming by that point.
And I'm just going to say here, guys, are you guys casters or are you part of the viewers with start the game, start the game?
I'm a viewer at this point. Well, actually, the thing is, though, like, none of us are viewers right now. Like, we're all just waiters. We're all in the waiting room. So no one gets to watch. It's just not fair, you know? I sign up for 6 games. I only get 5. I want my money back. What can you do?
You know, it is a crazy time for a lot of our viewers as well, you know, being here at APAC-South. Some people are just waking up to all the chaos that's unfolding. But I guess I'll quickly take you through a couple of the stats here. You know, Weibo Gaming at 61 points. We have VK tied with them at 61. MDY doing exceptionally well at 45 points. Legends Gaming, where I'm being optimistic, and I think they could even potentially take that top spot because I've seen it with my own eyes. They're at 43 points. DreamFire, though, Dax, I'm so thrilled to see them 5th place with 41 points currently. They are back, baby.
Yeah, Lace, feel free to keep asking me the questions. Let's let Elfish here rest for a while while we're getting ready for game number 6. And truth be told, it's so doable here for DreamFire. It's unfortunate that the momentum did get stopped since they had to play as a duo for a while, but 20 points is so possible for a team like DreamFire. Same can be said for Legends Gaming, 18 points, and it really has to go back to how No Name or I Hate the World has been performing so well, especially today. In their first lobby, he got 10k damage and was just a big component to why DreamFire was so successful. On the other hand, coming into this top 5 placing right now, 5k damage, 6 kills, 7 knockdowns, and just that extra bit of aggression, very much so helpful for DreamFire when it looked like that they did plateau when they had Roy, Pete, and 3MC stay too long as a roster together.
Yes, Dax, you are absolutely so right. Now, we have a little bit of a throwback, and we're not calling, you know, Elfish, I guess, the grandfather of Apex, but who better to take you back to back in your day than Elfish? You know, we've been through such a journey with Apex, and it's been super excited, you know, to see how far it's sort of come and, you know, what's been happening with everything. But, you know, Elfish, you've been, I guess, sort of casting for so long. You've probably seen so many changes throughout, you know, Apex history.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, right? And I think for me in particular, like the highlight moment was obviously when Reignite first won an international LAN event. We were all there, you know, myself, Genome, and Xenox, the sort of OG caster crew. And what was exciting about this event, and I think it's not even just like Apex specifically, but Australian esports in general has always been like considered a bit of an underdog. But we had Sutaraiku there. They actually played really well going into that final day. A lot of people were quite excited to see how they were going to go. And what was really funny was like they had just literally changed up their composition from one day to the next. They had an awful day 1, and then they had a really good day 2 and day 3, and they managed to make it into the final lobby as like one of the best looking teams. So they played really well. The expectations were not necessarily that they were going to win the event. I don't think anyone really expected an APAC-South team, let alone an ANZ team, to win the event. But ultimately, as we all know, at this point, what ended up happening was, in the end, we got to see Reignite walk away with the victory. And I just remember because I was in the green room watching these games play out, and I don't know how you guys feel being from this region, but I've been involved in esports for almost 10 years now from this region, and I've gotten to the point where, like, I kind of never really believe it's going to happen. You know, I always have in the back of my mind, I've seen so many times a team from our region get so close, whether it's, you know, from Asia or from ANZ, get so close and then just fumble the bag, you know, choke it. And I thought that was going to happen again. And then I was watching that game and I was thinking, they're actually doing this. They're actually going to win this game. And then I was like, nah, they're not going to win this game. They're not going to be able to do it. You know, it's going to be another choke. But, no, ultimately they went on to win it. And it was, I guess, the start of like what ended up being a very, very long sort of era almost for Apex Legends, where like Reignite into Dark Zero into now, you know, the Falcons roster that has been put together is kind of like one of the best teams in the world. So that event, this event here, right, that we're watching right now, like in the midst of COVID, you know, it was kind of the start of it all. And it was such a crazy event because first of all, yeah, they were playing with a sub. And then second of all, like, you've got to imagine like the pressure that we were under at that event, right? We all flew from Australia to Sweden, and, you know, obviously all the other players came from all over the place. We were in Stockholm, we were in this hotel, and like to even get into the venue, we had to do a COVID test every day. So every day, you go in, you sit down in the morning, you put the thing up your nose, and then you sit there for 15 minutes and you think, God, I might have flown halfway across the world, or actually across the world, to literally sit in my hotel room because I've now got COVID and I don't know it. And that is exactly what happened to a few people. I mean, Jen was obviously one of them. He flew all the way here and didn't even get to play. He had to watch on the sidelines as his team wins this game. But watching this moment right here, I remember it so vividly. Standing next to Genome in that green room, and you can see, like, you can look at it from right on this spot. You freeze frame it here, and you know that they've already won because no one's even looking at them. And then they go on and obviously end up finishing, and then Zero throwing his headset off. Iconic. I really, really appreciated this moment being here. I mean, it was the start of something special for, not just for Apex Legends, but for Australian esports, because how often do you see a team from our region, from our country, and being able to do this? It's, yeah, not happens not something that happens every day, and I don't think it's really ever happened since, quite honestly. Like, this team is something special. Zero, obviously, there as the initial key focal point of it, but then Jen Burden comes in alongside Sharky, and Zero heading into the Dark Zero era of things. And yeah, it was just a very special moment. And just to prove it to you all that I was there, you're just watching the background. This guy, he just starts walking in. That's me. There he is, with the brown jacket on, ready to take some selfies with the winning moment, because this is the moment where, like, Reignite are actually walking to the stage, and I'm like, I'm actually here. This is crazy. I didn't even think this was going to happen, but it was like, yeah, a bit of a fever dream kind of a moment. But yeah, that's the start of it all, and now here we are with potentially the best team in the world coming from this region.
Wow.
You get a bit emotional, I think, Dax, watching
cry.
that. You know, I know. It's just crazy to see, you know, the likes of, I guess, Zero and Jen, you know, they moved over to Dark Zero. And like you said, Elfish, it's so exciting to see our players really take to the stage and perform, and then get picked up by, you know, these massive organizations, so much so that they move out of the country over, you know, I guess to NA, where esports is, you know, massive. It just, I guess it makes you a little bit emotional, Dax, I must say, like, just to see our players. It's like our little babies, they're growing up so big.
Yeah, all I gotta say is I'm just happy to be here. We have to give the JJ man here his rocking chair, like something to hold in his hand, and just ask him about the memories of when APAC-South used to rule the Apex world.
Yeah, and you know, we may have, you know, at the playoffs that just happened, I guess, in LA, you know, it was good, I guess, to see our neighboring team, you know, APAC North, you know, they're taking out a win. It's always good to see, you know, amongst our regions sort of get those wins and, you know, really do well for, you know, our regions here, you know, China, Thailand, Australia, and then to see, you know, Japan teams and stuff. You just really come forth. So super excited. I know that you know, I'm so hoping there is a LAN in Japan. I know that, you know, everyone at home and, you know, all the players have been itching to hope for that as well. So just to give, like, our region, I guess, more recognition, we have, you know, lost a little spot there for APAC-South, only down to 7 instead of 8, but, you know, not a massive difference. Like, we still got this. I think we're still going to send through some exceptional players, Dax. So, you know, there's going to be so much room for our region to blossom.
Yeah, I do feel like for some of these teams, right, who are making a case that they're going to make it to LAN again, they're looking forward to how they're going to do even better here in LAN. Because let's face it, it was a weaker performance here from APAC-South this time around compared to all the other outings we've had ever since those Sutoraiku days. And I dare say a team like HungKuang or Mkers now, they want to try and make sure that they're better than ever. Let's see if LGD can make it. Let's see if Weibo can make it. And let's see if Elfish can make it right there.
I'm just going to say, by the way, it's not fair. Like, what? It's an actual scam, by the way, how this works. Because what happens is we go, wow, our teams are really good. They go and play overseas. You get those 8 slots. And then it's like, wow, these APAC-South's awesome. And then, well, you think about, okay, where's... All of our best players now have gone and started playing in North America, and they start counting towards North America slots. So it's like, hang on a minute. Those guys should count for slots for APAC-South still. It's not fair because they've come from this bloody region, you know? And then the best players are moving away. It's like, how are we supposed to continue to compete when our players and teams go in and play from, you know, another region? That's just, you know, like, give us some slack, you know what I mean? Like, you can't take the best players out of our region and then keep saying, well, they need to keep performing to that same level without those teams, without those players. It doesn't work like that, guys.
It's okay. It's
anyway,
okay, Elfish.
I'm not mad.
It's okay. We're going to get those teams back. We're going to have a good team again in LAN. It's going to happen. It's a cycle that APAC-South always provides NA some good talent.
Well, I've got a little something special for you. We love a little bit of backroom footage to see what goes on behind the scenes. You know, we've seen the setup for, I guess, Long Shot. Now we're going to take you back again for a winning moment for Reignite. So let's take a look at this footage before we head into a break.
Oh my god.
Yes! Let's fucking go!
Oh my god.
And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being so patient for us as we gear up for our final game here in APAC-South Pro League. Who will win it? Weibo, MDY, Legends Gaming, VK Gaming. Do DreamFire do something absolutely crazy, Dax? I am just itching to get into game number 6.
Not gonna lie, I kind of want to bounce that question back to you guys. Like, if you could pick one of the top 5 to win right now, no need for any reasoning, who do you think is gonna take it? For me,
Legends Gaming.
Okay, fine, you're Legends, it's pretty obvious. But I kind of really want to put my hat on MDY right now. I'm really impressed with how they put XX in, and he's just done so well for the team. I've always been impressed to see how Morgenstern and Baby have been playing this game, and maybe this can be their chance to shoot themselves all the way up to the ladder.
Elfish, who are you rooting for this last game? You know, I know it's not Legends game. You said it's a 1% chance, but, you know, I'm optimistic and I want to see them be able to do it. Who are you going for?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, if Legends is a 1% chance, I think MDY is probably a 1.5% chance. They've only got the 2 extra points over Legends, so both of you are sort of backing the outside horse here. I'll be going with Weibo. I think for me, obviously, it's between Weibo and VK. Like, that's the easy choice.
Smart picks.
Smart.
Yeah, Weibo looks a little bit stronger towards the back end of the day for me, so I'll go with Weibo. I think they finished strong, but in saying that, you know, like, after such a long break, after a bit of downtime, you know, are these players like warmed up? Are they feeling comfortable? Who knows what's really going on in their minds? So it's really hard to like actually make an educated opinion at this point in time.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's interesting you say that because, you know, I say Weibo is a steamrolling kind of team. So, you know, having these sort of longer breaks, will they be able to keep that momentum going into it? You know, it happened, I guess, earlier today, and we saw them not drop off completely, but they did sort of fall behind a little bit, taking that long of, you know, waiting time, not getting, you know, to have that snowball effect we've seen them do. But, you know, Legends Gaming might be planning some sort of strategic scheme to be able to take out the win again. You know, I've touched on it before. I said they did it last week. I'm super excited, Dax, just to see how this game unfolds. So, you know, let's see how I guess it unfolds. But like you said, MDY, they are in contention for this as well. They have been doing exceptional today.
Yeah, and I gotta go back to how the core has been really uplifted here by XX. We're gonna get into the game though. It's finally here. And guys, the wait is over. We walked through memory lane. We've seen 11 incredible games. And we waited with such a fun lobby. But we finally gotten into World's Edge. Confirmation on your screen that the 60 players that are going to be playing today, they're in the lobby. We're going to see these 20 teams fight and look to dub.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. It's been a wait.
6, 5,
Do it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Elfish and Dax!
Thank you, Barrelace. I love it. Oh, even Prawn is hyped up. Oh, the zoom, the effects, and now the compositions. To no surprise, you got Bloodhound, you got Bangalore, and you got your pick of the Watson, the Catalyst, or the Fuse. We have big contenders though here, Elfish. Who can take it? We had our own personal opinions while waiting for this game, but right now we're gonna see who will take it. Drop spots are still the same. It's the usual draft that we have had, and as of right now, there are many eyes on the likes of Weibo as well as VK as they are within the top spots here.
Well, let's take it away. We are game number 6 here for 8 versus B. This is APAC-South Pro League, where we've been waiting for so damn long to see this game unfold. So let's get right on into it. Everybody cheering at home. Let's take it away, Elfish and Dax, and see how this unfolds.
Good game into this one. Everyone's hungry for some food and, of course, for some great Apex. Now, with that being said, though, let's look at this ring pool real quick. Looking to be within the center of the map, actually, here, Elfish. You see LGD. They always love to play it a bit from the middle. You have DreamFire, so far away in Overlook, but in a relatively safe angle. But Weibo, eyes are on them if they can continue what they did in the last game.
Yeah, look, they say patience is a virtue. I think we've been very patient today, so we should be treated to something nice at the end of the evening. It will be a more northern shift inevitably. And look, that's a lot of unplayable terrain in that second phase. There's just not a huge amount of cover there, so this could get pretty messy.
Like, if you look at the first part of it, maybe it's angling towards Skyhook East, but we've seen a ring like this before wherein DreamFire was in a good spot, Weibo still took the win anyway, and it might just be towards the train tracks or right under Survey Camp if that will be the shift there. And even our observers are pointing it out. It can end within an area like this if this is going to be the ring pull, and that is good signs for teams like Kill Devil and especially VK Gaming, tied with Weibo with 61, and they're the first ones with ring priority as they move towards Survey Camp here and look for a beacon to utilize.
Gaming could be a big final finish from them. And as far as Weibo are concerned, still got a bit of a rotation to be making on their behalf. All right. Well,
what?
Is there an Octane in this lobby?
I've just been wondering, why am I getting screamed at in my ear? You guys can't hear it on the stream.
Is there a jumpy boy in this
Apparently
lobby?
there's an Octane somewhere.
Yep, and I hope we did get Lace on the mic there, but no credit. There is action afoot, and it's MXF on the opposite end. Savior already down. Very cheeky. He's going to be gone, and Lux will have to play for a solo as MXF will surprise. No credit there.
But I'm still trying to figure out who has the Octane.
There's an Octane.
Where?
Kill Devil.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay, Kill Devil. There you go. There we go. All right, let's have a look and see how that's going to go. But for now, we'll go back over to LGD over at Epicenter. And this will very quickly become a bit of a hot spot already. A bunch of teams rotating in, one of which is Legends Gaming.
Oh, there's a
on
problem.
Legends Gaming.
Look at Fruit Salad, they're already in position into the House of Legends wanted to run into, and that's been the case for Legends Gaming with a different drop spot to begin with. The rotations aren't as fast as they would like. Kill Devil though, to the excitement of Lace especially. You got Bolin here ready to show her how it's done, and with the Octane, that extra bit of speed, that's him. It's time to go, go, go. Luhan and Levy will send it. Kill Devil want to fight immediately, but Benfu makes them work for it.
Octane
Legends Gaming eliminated by the Octane squad here.
Well, the Octane might not last much longer beyond that, but it was a moment of excitement for 5 seconds or so. That's fun. We'll take it. The problem is, you know, Lace will be happy that Octane got a few kills there, but maybe not happy that Legends are out. So,
yeah,
seems like the 99% ended up winning out over the 1% in this case today. Unfortunate.
That's so sad. Lace's favorite legend has killed the team that she was rooting for. But with that being said, we also noticed BearClaw playing such a strong third, and coming into World's Edge, we've noticed that they're really good at making those opportunities on this map. NoCredit also gone. 4 of these teams, they waited so long for this map to happen, and they're eliminated this early?
Let's be real, they just wanted to go to bed at this point. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's all I'll say to you, Lace, if you're still listening. But moving forward...
Like someone. Oh, this corner.
100%. Yeah, 100% pick rate for the Blood Round Bangalore. I think that has more or less been the case for the entire day. No real surprises there. And it's been a tough one for outside the ring. Have a look at that. Only the 3 points over the 5 games, and into the 6th game, they're down to 2 as well. MXF making a very late rotate. They're going to jump in with Guild Esports, but you can't just send this building this late in the game and expect it to be empty. There's just no world where it's going to be empty. So they do get punished for that, and that's good to see, courtesy of Guild Esports, who are putting together a bit of a better lobby, but still nothing to get too excited about.
Yeah, I think you gotta tell MXF that directly. Right now, outside the lobby, as they're eliminated there by VK Gaming. But you said it, Guild Esports and teams like Fruit Salad, they've been so pivotal at making their way into the ring as soon as possible. We did see Fruit Salad eliminated there too, but Guild have had a good rally so far. VK, though, in a better position opposite of Guild and within the ring. The big question now is, where is Weibo in all of this?
Yeah, great question. They've been just chilling around the southern part of the map. You know, came up from Tree toward Thermal Station. They're in staging now, playing a little bit of a slower game than quite a number of teams, and that may be as a result of where this zone has shifted, we highlighted that there's really not a whole lot of room to kind of play in ring number 2. And I think that's well, first of all, part of the reason I think that there's a lot of teams that are already out is because most people are tired and they've mentally checked out. But on top of that, I think there's a few teams that would go, well, there's not that many options as far as this ring is concerned. We're just going to send and hope for the best. And that may be what it comes down to for a team like Weibo. But in saying that, Weibo's probably one of, if not the best, send teams when push comes to shove. So I will still keep their name in the ring. But it's definitely looking better for VK at the moment.
I mean, it's a good vouch. You have those 2 buildings where VK and Guild will know exactly where the ring's gonna be. So they're in position. And then you compare it to other squads who are hedging their bets, playing towards the south. WarMonster, FireBird, BearClaw Gaming, Vegas Inferno. They have cover, yes, but they're gonna need to run into the positions the VK and Guild have established moving forward. So it's very reminiscent to one of the rings that we had a while ago. Weibo, they figured it out, took that job then. I do wonder if they can continue to succeed in that vein. DreamFire also can't make their way in as per usual. They're stuck at epicenter and will look to move through LGD coming into this one.
KPG flying through the air at Skyhook. Are they low-key chasing outside the ring? I think they might be. At least they're following in their footsteps, and
yeah, they are.
I definitely think they're trying to chase this one down.
They
would know that they're a duo. That'll probably be the reason that they're going for this, because the 3-on-2 is definitely going to be favorable, but outside, really wasting a lot of their time, and they do have to kind of be a little bit aware of Final Dream, who are sort of floating around outside of Countdown as well, and could come through for the third party if things get a bit awkward. Surely this is a bit too much. You can't keep pushing us, keep going gaming, and I think they've recognized that, so they'll just back off.
Yeah, it felt a little bit personal even there at the end, but you mentioned it. Final Dream was pinging Countdown because of all the noise being made, and effectively, Final Dream will be waiting for KPG to come their way. BearClaw, though, also close to this angle. You got Heck ready with the Sentinel. He's been strong with this gun, too. And for now, BearClaw, it's a different kind of call for them. They would love to play into the zone, but they're just unable to push towards the north with Guild, and now Final Dream blocking their path.
BearClaw Gaming playing nice and patiently at the moment. But this is the team to keep an eye on. VK Gaming pretty much smack bang dead center of the zone. Where the next ring will pull as well. It's going to be favorable enough for VK Gaming. And that could be enough to get them the chance to hold on for a first place in this lobby, and deny it away from Weibo Gaming. 2 second places in a row would be a little bit sad. Then again, you know, I look at Weibo out on the edge, and I think they tend to do their best work from the edge. You know, they sweep through, they clean up teams on their way in, and there's always a lot more points on offer when you're an edge team rather than a center team. So, could be a double-edged sword here for VK Gaming, that they do get those placement points a little bit easier, but as far as skill points are concerned, it's going to leave them a little worse for wear.
No, that's the perfect term right now. Look at where Weibo is at and who's nearby. 2 very strong edge teams might collide here with Weibo on one side and MDY actually on the other. So it's going to get dangerous there. LGD also in the way of Weibo. But as you mentioned, with the armor advantage that Weibo has, they can send it onto a squad like LGD, who loves to bide their time. Final Dream also still here. They've had some strong 3v3s within this lobby. Points not the best, but at least they found impact. LGD's just emoting. Okay, sure. Might as well. A little bit of stretch.
You know, just sitting down. Oh man, I could do with a stretch at this point in time. It's a long day. But Geekay Gaming are trying to force their way into train tunnel. HKUF on the other side of this exchange. Held at bay at the moment by the catalyst wall, but sooner or later that drops, and then it's off to the races.
Yeah, Thermal going on over. A little bit of a wall jump there for Crane too, but eventually he's going to need to get into cover. The Catwall still providing a bit of space to work with, but HKUF now looking to take the fight towards KPG here. Tree Cleaner cornered, and he will just be felled by BearClaw. Next on the list might be the rest of KPG through the smoke. HKUF will push, and they're fighting really well today. Bible Shore making them work for it, but Keep Going Gaming will be sent home packing. 14 squads remain here.
Yeah, and Crane should have enough time to get these revives as well. There's no issue with that. No one pushing their way into the tunnels either. Zone's pushing in that direction too, so this could be, again, another spot that HKUF get themselves in and think, well, we're actually on for a pretty good end game. I've got to say that's been their biggest asset today. HKUF have multiple times have found themselves in a decent late game position, but they haven't really converted on any of those. Maybe the final game of the day could be the one.
I agree with you. They've been a big what if, either make a good call for the zone or make a good call for the fight itself. It hasn't been a complete package for them, but you can see the improvements for HKUF as a whole. Ring, though, now looking to go towards Guild. It really is just that DreamFire Weibo gaming on repeat. And I guess that's the case when we had to wait for this lobby. Speaking of, though, look what's happening towards Epicenter here. DreamFire, LGD, and Weibo ready to collide soon.
Yeah, and the pool goes over to Guild Esports, and it might be a final little gift from the gods of Apex Legends, who have been quite mean to them today, just to say, we're sorry. How far up that would push Guild if they would win this game. They've got to try and give it a crack, and here's the points on offer for Weibo. Talk about it, Pete has been finished off. DreamFire in the sightlines, no doubt about that. 63, DK on 64 or 65, so not too far ahead of Weibo at the moment. There it is, 64, top of your screens. Weibo are not shying away from this engagement at all. Beast of the Hunt has been popped, and that shows the intentions of Weibo.
They're gonna jump on DreamFire right here, right now, and Gugu is on it like a bullet. Same could be said here for Bobo. A quick little scan though. Weibo here with elevation. They're just hugging the outside of the ring right now. Weibo watching for any target to come their way. 2 squads eliminated off stream now, but here comes Bobo yet again. Sees everything going on. He does get traded. Weibo Gaming now gonna get eliminated here by LGD. And this means BK is going to have an easier time for the rest of the lobby. BearClaw Gaming now have wormed their way in. Also, Mkers, DreamFire, LGD having a clash elsewhere. But as we see it, DreamFire still alive, still fighting. 45 points for them. But right behind them, Mkers looking to barrel down.
Oh, it's an absolute mess out on the eastern side of the map. The snowy hills outside of Epicenter have become bathed in blood. Mkers perhaps going to be making a late game resurgence. 1 game to go, and they are trying to make the most of it. They're out their side of the zone. DreamFire below them. They will know a duo. But they're not pushing off the back of that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that more or less confirms VK Gaming as first. I don't believe Weibo overtook them, and they didn't. You can see VK Gaming 65. MDY down to 1 player. Not sure they're going to be making that kind of a deficit back. So yeah, VK Gaming have, you know, maybe let it slip a little bit in the first lobby after that win to start the day. They didn't really do too much there, but here in the second lobby, they have really made amends for that.
Yeah, in first lobby, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish, and now they're showing that they can start and finish well too. So good on VK, unless we see a massive game from the solo of MDY or the duo of DreamFire. It's not gonna happen. Final Dream though, in trouble. Throw an Arc Star for a little bit of cover. Smoke's there too. Aimbot actually getting the shield back off. And while this happens, it's still BearClaw nearby. They've been having a stalemate for so long already. The scan confirms their position. Knuckle Cluster can get thrown on over. Vegas Inferno, on the other hand, coming out from the north. And they're facing off against HKUF. Fire already confirms the first with the flatline. A flow goes for shield cells too. But Vegas Inferno have the numbers advantage, and they can be safe and stabilized before they send it. DreamFire, though, they have a different battle. BearClaw Gaming gonna be the ones they're trying to declaw here. DreamFire, though, getting dropped to a single. I hate the world, has the whole world to fight in front of him. He's searching for a target. He finds it in front, and BearClaw Gaming will be eliminated by the hand of DreamFire.
DreamFire doing pretty well for themselves, but they are now down to 1 player left. Geekay Esports with the 3, although that might not last too long at all. They are in a real stoush at the moment. It is Vegas Inferno that are taking that fight to them, and they are winning it quite handedly. Rampage out in the hands of A-Flow. HKUF get eliminated as well in the meanwhile. Vegas Inferno have been given time to reset. They want to push further forward. DreamFire finish off in the meanwhile too, alongside HKUF. So it is really starting to dwindle now, down to 6 squads remaining. Who is sitting there unscathed? It is Guild Esports inside of the house that they set up in at the start of the game. They haven't had to do too much. They are being rewarded for their efforts today. They've worked, toiled really, I think is a good way to phrase it. Yeah. And it hasn't really been for much reward, but maybe just at the end of the day they get something to be excited about.
I mean, they're pushing themselves into the top 10 with this performance. Geekay also, if you notice, they've changed over to a Watson-based comp. It still struggles here for the Boogie border score. So unfortunate, really, for Geekay so far. Mkers now making a run too. They're in 7th place. They want KP. They're looking to feast on the opposition, and they kill VK Gaming. So that stops VK Gaming in their tracks. From what we've seen, though, so far, their performance should be enough to keep them at top 1 here.
More than enough. We want to catch up to them. Mkers, 28 points here, 6th place. They can definitely go up a couple if they were to get the win. Up to the North Vegas Inferno, also looking for a solid final game. And Final Dream making their cross into the guild building. Late in the game, players duo have to try to make it work. This is a rough cross for Vegas Inferno as well. They are getting harassed by all the spray damage. Dexter Asia in there.
Nice.
And Vegas Inferno get rid of Geekay Esports. And Guild not looking to try to get aggressive. They're not dropping down off of their roof just yet. They're playing this one incredibly safe.
There's no need. I mean, Serenity has always been a smart core under Guild Esports. It's a recovery game that they're looking for. A little bit of a 1v1 there from Vegas Inferno and Geekay, with, of course, Vegas Inferno winning it to keep themselves within the top 4. Right now, that's one rat is just down below. Yugi now popping the Beast of the Hunt. Knows there is contact nearby. Final Dream a duo. And while this happens, it's Mkers actually just watching all of this chaos. It's a house party that Mkers isn't invited to, but they're happy to stay on the sidelines here.
Oh, big spam from this Devotion. Damage is good from Bugi in the end. Gets that final knock. We've got a bit more work to do here. Spotting a couple of members out. Beast of the Hunt helping in that respect. And Bugi just holding down the left click. Can't quite find the last bullet or two that was required. Eventually, I think you'll get it done. Vegas Inferno taken out.
Mkers taking the roof though. Ready now to crash this party. 3 squads left. Mkers taking immense damage! And it's Guild Esports looking for a victory here. They drop the mother load. They still have the interior with them. Asia's now gonna get taken down. Final Dream eliminated too. And it's Mkers still standing with 2. But Siki low on the HP. Dexter gonna be nearby also. Mkers trying to find the fight. They want to push this one in. Guild Esports on the other front. And now, a slide in through the doorway. Legacy still alive somehow. Jesco and Bugi providing cover. Guild have backed away inside the house. And the number's still in favor of Guild here.
Yeah, Guild, you can see though, they are just so passive. They're trying to play this one so safe. And it is Mkers that is really pushing the issue. Surely that will come to a head at the moment. And Guild will get themselves a strong finish at the end of the day. They worked so hard, so long, and finally they get some success. It will be a bit of a bittersweet feeling, to be quite honest with you, because it's not enough to really salvage the day, but it is something at least.
Yeah, awesome stuff by Guild. You know, they were just biding their time to finally get themselves a win. You know, previously known as Serenity. They've been to Lair before. They know exactly what to do under pressure, and it was excellent. Just wonderful to see them finally, you know, put that, I guess, that LAN experience into practice today. And it was the last game, of course, but you know what? A great game from them. I'm having a look at this scoreboard, and I know that everybody's itching to see it, but we've got to take a look and have a little bit of a replay back at what happened to that game. A lot of our Juggernaut teams, Dax, sort of fell out early. I was obviously super passionate to see an Octane here, but Bolin being able just to swing in and get a couple of kills. But what Octanes do best is they full send, get kills, and then die shortly after.
Yeah, and not only that, Legends was also trapped by the nades of BearClaw there. It smiles for Lace to see it. Octane KPG also having an incredible fight versus HKUF. It felt like it was a game of skirmishes, but you said it. You look at where some of these big names ended up in. Legends Gaming, first eliminated in 20th. Weibo Gaming, 12th place, 1 KP. DreamFire, 7th place, 5 KP at the very least. MDY, 9th place, none. But VK Gaming was up ahead of them there with 6th place and 2 kills. So at the very least, it solidifies that VK's day is today. Breaks, again, the records here that Legends is trying to run, look for those dubs. But in the last fight, it's Guild. Very calm and collected. I do feel like it was so melancholic And for Guild, in a way, they played the waiting game to get this game started to begin with. And they played the waiting game by the house to take the dub.
Yeah, Mkers here as well. Elfish just having an exceptional game, just being able to, I guess, get themselves quite, snuggled into that building and collecting a bit of kill points along the way actually might move them up a couple of positions in today's leaderboard. So, they haven't done too much at the start, but this game definitely, gave them a bit of pep in their step, we'll say.
Yeah, you got to take it as it comes, definitely. Obviously, we've still got next week to kind of discuss and see how things do play out. The teams in Group C will have a couple of bites of the cherry, which will help them to make a good kind of a run in. I don't know. I mean, at this point, Guild, it's workable still for sure. That win helps them out quite a lot. BK Gaming, a bit of a bump for them too. So I don't know. It's still pretty early days, I think, as far as those teams towards the top end of the scoreboard are concerned. Outside of Legends, it really feels like it could still be anyone inside of maybe the top 2, but really at the end of the day, if you make it into that final lobby, like we've said plenty of times before, anything can happen. So, don't get too far ahead of yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. But look at Mkers. Look at those kills. 10 kills for them and a second place. I guess too bad it's like our last game of the day. Good for us, good for everyone at home. I know we're tired and, we're ready to go to bed after all this exciting passion that APAC-South has been happening. But, I guess, Mkers, we're going to move up a couple of positions because of that 10 kill second place. So, we're going to be super excited to see the scoreboard. It's itching so close, guys. We are going to shortly show you who has come out on top after today's chaos. And who is it? It's VK Gaming. Absolutely exceptional from them, Dax.
Yeah, I was been waiting all day to see this from VK. Just game 1 dubs, they're one thing. But going on a run, making sure that you stay consistently ahead of some incredible teams right below you, it is such a good showing here from VK. Because look who they just beat here, Lace. Weibo, DreamFire, Mkers, MDY, Legends Gaming, all right behind them. Guild Esports also recovering well, at least to make it to 7th. That is a big statement made here by VK that I put them as a dark horse perhaps to make it to LAN with their performance within the offseason. And right now they're proving that they can hang with the best of them.
Not only that, QQ with 8,363 damage. We saw QQ, take over Gugu in the damage leaderboard, but goddamn, he's absolutely put in the work today for his team, Elfish.
Yeah, but in saying that, VK Gaming, they come out on top. Pretty incredible consistency outside of that second map for the Group A and B lobbies. They were inside the top 6 every other time and decent kill points on the board for the vast majority of those games. A 10 and 11 kill game is pretty impressive. 8 kills in one there as well. So very, very solid stuff. And VK Gaming, I feel like they kind of fly under the radar a little bit when we're talking about a lot of these big name teams, like Legends and Mkers and Guild Esports and stuff like that. But they are plugging away pretty nicely. And look, their consistency has been good today in terms of the performance in this lobby is concerned, but just in general, in terms of their results across the board on the overall lobby results, they're actually doing a pretty good number over this season. So be very happy with that, and I think they will be greatly rewarded for that going into the final couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's nice to see, I guess, someone else taking out the victory. And let's take a look at our overall standings, where Legends Gaming have, been doing extremely well thus far, with Mkers following in shortly behind. But Dax, they are still on the tippity top. There is just not much to catch them at the moment. 99 points in the overall series. They're almost hitting those triple digits.
I can't believe they're 1 away from 100 to begin with. So it just means pretty much any kind of placing besides 20th, they're gonna be breaking that 3-digit run. But look at the tail end of the top 7 here, guys. This is such a big deal because we didn't expect a recovery like this. Weibo's in 10th with 56, but DreamFire 64 points. They missed out on LAN last split for the first time in forever. They don't want that to repeat again.
Yeah, all their efforts, I guess, today and from, the previous 6 matches have really come into clutch for them because they were nowhere near this top couple of spots, Elfish. So, I said this before, I think you've given them the magic today to bring them to such a great position.
Yeah, we back. And I'll be back next week as well. So, I don't know. I'm just going to say there's a potential run in here for DreamFire, but look, I don't think they're going to end up in first. That's probably a stretch too far. But if they can repeat their heroics from today, they're going to lock themselves in for that final lobby. And that's really all they can ask for right now.
Yeah, and we still got one more week to go. This is I guess the second last week for our triple round robin. We still have one more week to see what our teams can do before we move on to the the finals, the regional finals. So there is still some more exciting action to see this scoreboard interchange. And Legends Gaming have just had such a good run with Mkers following in behind there. So we still are going to see a couple of shuffles there. But yeah, exciting stuff to see. I guess DreamFire sort of make their way up. Even Weibo coming back into clutch as well. They did so well in Split 1, Weibo. So, it's been awesome to see. But a big thank you to everybody here at Longshot today. It's been a grueling one, but we got through it. Elfish, a pleasure to have you back. We'll definitely see you next week. Dax as well, pleasure to have you back with us again. We have been the Longshot production. Big thank you to Play Apex for broadcasting this APAC-South region. But don't worry, everyone. We'll see you next week. But for now, we will take ourselves off the show. And thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.